cutting, clipping, putting in pictures. I mean, they've got this new show called The Modern Playbook, and I'm literally editing every episode.
All right,
what's that about?
I'm waiting for it to start. Hold on, guys.
Like modern comics?
Modern spec.
Oh, okay. They just add more and more.
Okay, we're starting.
Wow, 15 minutes ago, President Trump announced recording on Air Force One. He's banning TikTok.
Good.
From the U.S. I have that authority. I can do an executive order. Done.
Good.
Yeah, I know. I just didn't know it was going to official happen. I thought it was something.
It is Friday night in Phoenix, and you're listening to the Absolute Geek Podcast. I'm Matt.
I'm Kyle.
I'm Brian.
I'm Corbin.
And we want to welcome at this time master level psychic, medium, spiritual advisor, radio host, and the author of the book Angels and Answers. Welcome in at this time our guest this week, Artie Hoffman. Welcome, Arthur. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
I'm happy to be here with you guys. I'm sure it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes, sir.
That's what we're known for.
Cool beans.
So I got to ask one question before we start everything. Was this like a thing that happened like that in like your young age, or was it always there? Did it just happen out of nowhere?
No, when I was 27 years old, I was very frustrated in my life, and I had everything going for me. I had to have a great business. Family was doing great, financially doing good. Everything was great, but inside, it's like I was starving inside for something. I wasn't complete, and I had lots of friends too, but something still wasn't complete. And so I'm having a little conversation with God, and I said, God, you need to give me answers, give me clear answers, and please don't scare the hell out of me when you give me the answers. And so I'm walking in my kitchen about an hour or so later, and I'm going through the junk mail, and there was a postcard in there, and it said, how would you like to develop your psychic ability and intuitiveness? Go to the Edgar Cayce Foundation in Virginia Beach for this 1 weekend seminar to develop your psychic ability and intuitiveness. So I looked at it, and I said, oh, shit, I thought either you had it or you didn't. So I asked my wife, who was my wife at the time, I said, you want to try this? I said, this looks kind of interesting. She says, I don't care. She goes, you can do it if you want. I don't want to do it. So I went away for that 1 weekend, and it literally changed my life forever. And they taught you how to open up your heart and mind to be able to connect to the spiritual world. And, you know, when you just are just sitting there, you just are getting messages from the other side. So there's 50 of us in one room. There was 50 people at this seminar. And we're in this large room, and they were from all different parts of the country. And so it was interesting to meet, you know, all these nice people from around the country, and everybody was trying to develop this ability. Some people already had it. Other people like me had nothing. But so long story short, it turned out that I was pretty good at it. And then I went home, and I got myself a deck of spiritual cards. I was reading for friends and family for the next few years. And then
did you do tarot cards?
People were telling me how accurate I was. It was something like tarot cards, but they weren't tarot cards. But it's in the same family. And then I got to a point in my life where I needed some extra money, and so I said, you know what? I know how to do readings. So I threw an ad in the paper, and it said, if I don't pull through, no charge. And 90% of the people paid me, and then my career just took off like wildfire.
So, real quick about the Edgar Cayce, what do they call it? The Edgar Cayce Institute, right?
Yeah, Institute Foundation. Yeah.
So I know I don't know a lot about it, but I do know about it. This is going to sound crazy, but I I'm big into the
Crazy's
fringe,
my world. So.
yeah, the fringe topic stuff. And I used to be a big fan of a guy named David Wilcock, who was famous for going to the Edgar Cayce Institute, and a lot of people thought he was a reincarnation of Edgar Cayce himself. Do you still work with the Edgar Cayce Institute? Did you spend more time there? Did you go there for that weekend?
You know, I went to a few seminars outside of that to see other speakers. So I went a couple of times, 2-3 times. I haven't been there in many, many years, but I was literally just going to reach out to them this year and let them know. I mean, not this year, but I was going to reach out to them next week. And I was going to let them know what a huge impact they had and then see if they could promote my book, Angels and Answers. And I do mention them. And, you know, because of them, it helped me. And because of me, I helped out thousands of people. I've read for over 32,000 people in my life. So,
wow. How long is a reading take usually?
A day and a half. Only kidding.
Wow.
No, about anywhere from
Christ.
anywhere from 15 minutes to an hour. The average amount is like a half hour to 45 minutes, but some people go the distance and go an hour, and other people are just a half hour. But you know, it makes no difference to me, you know. And I give people as much information as I can with the time that they want to do it with me, you know. So, and that's it.
Do most readings that you do they involve the spiritual cards still, or are you just going off of you know, what you're gathering from the ether?
Yeah, it's both. To be honest with you, it's both. You know, so when I do my Facebook live show, because I have an international Facebook live show on Sunday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern time, called Angels and Answers, and I read people for free for an hour. So people are constantly popping questions at me nonstop throughout for that full hour, and you know, I have an assistant who reads the questions to me. Excuse me.
Bless you.
And so, yeah. So when they ask me the questions, you know, whether it be coming from their loved ones from the spiritual world, or they want to know about their love life or their medical life or situation. Yeah, so the answers just come to me that quickly, and I just give it to them. Once in a blue moon, I will go to the angel cards and I'll ask them for their advice on the outcomes and stuff.
Who's going to win the election?
What was that?
I said, who's going to win the election?
You really want to know?
Fuck yeah.
Trump.
Oh, damn.
I'm not giving you my personal thoughts.
Hmm.
Yeah,
just telling
of
you
course.
spiritually, Trump is 100%.
By a lot or by a little?
That's a good question. Ooh.
I feel like it's going to be a bigger spread than what you think. But
Hmm,
I'm going to tell you
interesting.
something. I'm going to tell you something really interesting. I'll be surprised if one of you know this without Googling it. There's
Right.
only one state in the country that has picked the winner of the presidency every single election since the beginning of time, since the beginning of the presidency. One state has picked the winner every single time. Do you know
Arizona?
what state that is? No.
We were off last year.
Well, put it this way. It would have to be one of the original 13 colonies because it was from the very beginning.
Oh yeah, New York,
I thought it was Connecticut.
Nope. Ohio.
Ohio. That makes
Ohio has
sense.
picked the winner every single time.
That's
That
right.
That's why they do the caucus.
It's something I read a long time ago. I never forgot. And I said, wow, that was pretty interesting. And yeah, they're still perfect, up to date.
What?
So,
What about? I'm spitfiring you questions because I have to leave the interview early, and these guys are doing me a solid by letting me get some of these questions off early. But what about pets? Do you ever get?
yeah, I do. I connect to pets too.
Okay, this is a big thing for me. And the reason I'm asking this is because I'm getting to the point. I don't have kids. My kid is basically my dog. She is my world, and she's getting to that point where I'm thinking about, you know, she's getting old, and it really breaks my heart just even thinking about it. How do pets deal with, like, is there an afterlife for pets? Like, what goes
Yes.
on with that?
Yeah, there's an afterlife. Just as a matter of fact, our pets
Probably
hang out
fucking
with us in
crowded.
the afterlife.
Say that again.
Our pets do hang out with us in the afterlife.
Perfect.
Oh, you
do.
mean they like hang out with us here?
You'll see your loved one. You'll see your baby again in the afterworld once you cross.
Man, that feels good.
So many goddamn guinea pigs.
Well, that makes me feel a lot better. Do
Yeah,
pets?
the ones that you have a personal connection with, they'll be right there with you. Because a lot of times I will get pets connected. Like, so when I'm doing a reading on the other side, and all of a sudden I'm getting the name of a pet or a breed of a dog or of a cat, and lo and behold, they're right there with us, during the reading. So
That's awesome.
So people say, well, how do you connect to pets? Because they send me pictures and images. That's how the spiritual world connects, is through pictures and images. They don't necessarily always talk like verbiage, like we're talking right now, but it's telepathy and it's pictures and images. A lot of times when I get messages in song. So in other words, if I'm reading for somebody and all of a sudden I hear a song in my head out of left field, whatever that song is about, that's what's going on with that person who I'm reading.
It'd be cool if it was like Frank Zappa that did it.
Yeah. Oh no, I get rock and roll music a lot. I really do.
Oh, that's cool.
I'll tell you a story that you're really going to appreciate. Let me tell you something. I got a lot of stories that could carry over to many shows with this one. So this girl comes into my place, and as soon as she walked into my place, she said, "Artie, I just want you to know, I've been thinking about you every single day for the last 2 years, every single day."
Wow.
So I'm flattered, and I'm not sexually turned on, but I'm flattered. And I said, okay. So I said, so why? She goes, you did a reading for me here, right in your kitchen. You did a reading for me 2 years ago. And as soon as you held my hand, you started singing the song, Highway to Hell. I'm going to Highway to Hell by AC/DC. So you said to me, as soon as you held my hand, you were hearing that song. I looked at her. She said, you looked at me and you said, if you don't stop doing what you're doing, you're going to get caught at doing what you shouldn't be doing, and you're going to end up going to jail. And so after the reading, she said, 1 week later, I got caught doing something I should not have been doing, and I got thrown in jail for 2 years.
Oh, wow.
Listen.
And she said, every single day when I woke up, I said, why didn't I listen to Artie?
Wow.
So,
I was about to say, yeah, 2 years in prison. Wow.
yeah. And so I give messages to people where you do have a choice. So people ask me, hey, Art, do you get bad news or whatnot? So I gave her the option to not have to go in that direction. So I might tell you there's a rainstorm coming, but I'm going to help you to deal with the rainstorm, whether I tell you to bring an umbrella or don't go outside today or don't do this or don't do that. But there are times where I did readings for people, and like a couple of days later, they got in a big car accident. And they say, Artie, why didn't you tell me I was going to get in a car accident? I say, well, that means that you were meant to be through it. You were meant to go through it. I can't stop you at everything. Whatever's meant to be is meant to be. But if I'm able to share with you to say, you know what? A lot of people obviously ask me about love relationships. So they say, Artie, what do you see for me in this relationship? Yes, fella in the red.
Yes, sir. Oh no. I you speak to me when you said that, like you were in my head right there. Like, yeah. I'll wait.
So I give people advice. So even though I'm a psychic, I say, well, this is what I see happening, and it's not always like that, because there's what's known as psychic probabilities. So in other words, when I'm in a reading with somebody and I'm talking about their relationship, I say, well, if you divorce him, this is what's going to happen. If you go to a counselor, this is what's going to happen. If you just totally choose to leave and be on your own, this is what's going to happen. If you go with the other guy, this is what's going to happen. They go, okay, well, what do you see me doing? I said, I don't know. I just told you what's going to happen based on your personal choices. I could tell you what I would do if I was in your shoes, but when you're emotionally invested in a situation, emotions always rule. So whether it be the right choice or the wrong choice, when your heart and your emotions are invested in someone or something, even if it's against the grain, if you want it that bad, God's not going to stop you from allowing it to happen.
That's a great point.
So it's not just if it's within God's will, so it shall be. No, if it's within your will, then it's within God's will, because God allows everything to happen.
It's also why that's also why they say you have to step back from your emotional self sometimes, because we're such an emotional being that a lot of our pointers, like some people are on set autopilot to fight, no matter what, their autopilot is set to argue or fight, even when they know that sometimes they're wrong. That's why you have to sometimes step back from that emotional being.
When emotions are high, smarts and intelligence goes right out the window.
Mhm.
It's as simple as that. When you're emotionally caught up, it rules. It simply rules. Your emotions are based a lot from your ego, but your soul is the one that gives you that gut instinct of what's right or what's wrong.
Have
whether you should go with it or you shouldn't, whether you should stay or whether you should go. And a lot of people stay in relationships because they're afraid to be on their own, or they're afraid that their partner is going to end up being with someone better than them, or they're afraid that they're not going to financially make it on their own, or they're worried about the kids. They stay for the kids. A lot of people stay for the wrong reasons, but yet their gut and their soul is saying, but I'm not happy. I know I don't belong here. And so too many people grow comfortable in the uncomfortableness.
This is going to sound also weird. What are your feelings? Are there things that help manifest or create that energy? I guess what I'm getting at is psychedelics. What are your thoughts on psychedelics? Can they open that realm?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Everything is a balance, though.
I'm very fascinated, and the guys know this, and I talk about it a lot on here. I'm very fascinated with DMT and the studies that are going on with DMT, especially when it comes to people who are afraid of dying. And the studies.
Wait. A lot of the audience doesn't know what DMT is, so explain it.
So DMT is dimethyltryptamine, and it is it's basically in every plant on the planet. And you have an acid in your gut that cancels out that psychedelic chemicals. But it's also, they think it is created in the body with the, what is it called? Damn it. It's the pineal gland. And when we dream, it relinquishes small amounts of DMT, or also when we're in like flight or flight situations, when you get your arm cut off, that's why you don't feel pain, because the DMT is releasing. But there's ways to get around it, and people have figured out, i.e. shamans in Peru have figured out how to, mix different types of plants to cancel out the gut biome. And so, and move, moving forward with the Sonoran desert toad and whatnot. So basically, it's like,
know where I can store some?
I do, my friend.
No, tripping, man. This guy with diamonds.
Yes, that's exactly it. And it's a more natural type that only lasts 5 to 15 minutes per trip. But when
long enough.
It is long enough, because it's so it literally feels like you're being shot out of a cannon out of your body. And a lot of people, they've been doing studies with it, and one of the studies that relates to this conversation that is fascinating for me is people that have terminal illnesses that are super afraid of dying. And then they go into a study with 5-MeO dimethyltryptamine, which is from the Sonoran desert toad, and they actually take it intravenously on a drip. And coming out of that trip, they are like something like almost 85 to 90% of them are no longer afraid of dying. And that's fascinating to me. And most of them say because they know after taking that trip that there is something after. And it
definitely something after. I know that because I communicate to the other side. The interesting thing is, when you say we die, we really don't die. Nobody ever dies.
Our meat sacks just stop working, right?
Your soul is who you are. Your soul, your body is not who you are. Your soul is who you are. Your soul is expressing itself using the body that you're in. So what dies is your body. So when your body retires, your soul lifts up out of your body and says, I'm out of here. And then you're in the spiritual realm without the body. But everybody who you have lost in your lifetime, they're all alive as much as you and I. They're just not in the physical body.
Fascinating, man. It's absolutely fascinating. Obviously, it's fascinating because the number one question that all humans have is what happens when we die, right? That's the number one question. I don't care who you are. That is, in my opinion, that is what has caused humanity to move forward, as we're constantly asking, what is out there? What is out there after we're done? And,
well, there are things that human words cannot explain. Experiences. Human words cannot express the emotions. The love in the spiritual world is much greater than the love that exists right here, right now.
What's so fascinating about that, and again, back to the DMT, is the by far the number one thing that people that take a DMT trip say. They all basically get taught the same lessons. And this can be somebody who lives in Siberia that was from 50 years ago that had never met me living in Arizona in the year 2020. You know what I mean? And they've had similar experiences, i.e. being that as soon as you get to this realm, whatever it is, where you're shot out of your body into the realm that you're at, you meet this feminine entity. She's feminine. And you've automatically known, you know that you've known her, not just for your whole lifetime, but for eons. And she basically tells you the same thing, that humans are much more stronger than we ever thought we were. That 2, we have to take care of ourselves more. And 3, we have to quit being assholes, basically, for whatever words. And what you said, Artie, is that when you get to that realm, it's that experience. And that is exactly what happens when whatever you get to that realm, however you get to it, is whether it's a near-death experience, whether it's being like you, Artie, who is, got some ability to key in on that realm, or whether it's through psychedelics or whatever. When you get that experience, nothing can change that experience. No matter how hard somebody tells you it's not real, you just felt how real it was. That's fascinating to me.
Yeah, no, it is extremely real. And that when people, there's a lot of people go in that in and out state, that near-death experience, and you could go on the other side, you could come here. Trust me, when you're in that in-between state, everybody wants to go to the other side, even if you have kids here or whatnot. But the thing is that because of karmic reasons, your angels, your spirit guides will say, no, it's not your time. And you have to finish what you came here for. You can't leave just yet. And you say, no, screw that. I'd rather be here. See, because on the other side, it's nothing but pure. Talk about pure cocaine. This is nothing but pure unconditional love on the other side, where the ego's not involved, where it's just pure love and acceptance. There are no secrets on the other side. Everyone's glass. Everyone knows everyone's business because it's nothing but pure love. So what we get upset about when we're on the other side, and people are still might be upset when they're on the other side, it's not about where they're at or about themselves or anything. It's about they feel bad for their loved ones that are making really poor choices or what they're going through. So they'll help guide you in your lifetime, even while they're on the other side. A lot of times your loved ones who you can't stand worth a crap, and you're really upset with them and agitated with them growing up, whether it be your siblings, your parents, or lover, whoever. But when they cross over, they're actually able to help you a lot more being over on the other side than they are being over here, because they could help manifest or bring people to you that you need, or bring situations to you that you need, and within their prayers or within their abilities, they'll do what they can for you. And so when you communicate to them, or when you communicate to your loved ones, your spiritual guides, your angels, and you ask for help, they will be there to help you. And I just, listen, I've just been hit pretty hard with some personal situations. And you would think that I should be like freaking out by now, but probably enough to make my hair curl and turn gray. But I've learned just to chill out and let life unfold. And I've learned to come to an acceptance. It is what it is. There's nothing you could do about it. And you make the best of the situation of what you got. Because what kills humanity, what kills the soul, is our expectations, rather than coming to an acceptance. So when you're setting up yourself up with expectations, with how you think people should be, or they should always be like this, or your partner should be like this to you,
or your job should be giving you this, or they're making more money than, or whatever. It's the humanoid in you with set up with expectations, which is a part of the ego, and that's what kills you because of your expectations. But if you don't like the hand that life has dealt you, then you're allowed to change that. But you also have to understand that everything you have in your life, you have created. So the people who are so upset with their life by their personal choices and they choose to commit suicide, what happens with those people who commit suicide, you never run away from your responsibilities. What happens is that you're going to be reborn into another family that will lead you to the exact same circumstances that you just try to run away from. Because God says, before you're born into this world, God says, listen, Matt, I love you unconditionally. And you know that. You're allowed to do with whatever you want, and I'm not going to stop you. And the reason why I'm not going to stop you, because I gave every soul free will to do with whatever you want. However, you are responsible for all your actions. So whatever it is that you create, then that's what it is.
That's fascinating. Guys, thank you for letting me get a couple questions in. I will catch you later. Artie, it was very nice to meet you. Hopefully there's more.
Pleasure.
All right. Thank you, guys.
So what you're saying is a lot of people say, like, I have a friend who was in
They are wrong.
Yeah. And who was
who are they people? Who's they? We always say, well, they always.
Yeah. I had a friend who, because I've been divorced for 10 years now and just kind of getting back into the dating scene and starting to look again. Personal reasons, just working on myself. I've had friends that have said, if you want that, you need to manifest it. And one of my friends suggested you need to maybe, you own your own house, you have a big closet, clean out one of your closets, manifest space for somebody else. So do you you're saying you kind of agree with that if you want something, you got to kind of will it and manifest it in a way?
Yeah, there's a few things that I want to suggest for that. Number one, work on yourself. Make yourself happy. Work out, play music, do hobbies, do sports, do what makes you happy. Because when you are doing things in life that make you happy, and a lot of times it could be just in the way that you dress. So if you're dressing in a way that makes you feel cool or makes you feel good about yourself, you're raising your vibrations. All right. Now, by you raising your vibrations and really loving yourself, there's nothing wrong with you saying, I love myself. But when I say I love myself, I'm not saying I'm better than you. I love you. Literally, I love you as much as I love myself. So what's wrong with two wonderful people in the same room? So what I tell people, the spiritual zone that I tell people to get in to be able to manifest love in your life, I want you to, or who's ever listening, or for you guys, if you really want love in your life, write a love letter to your future love as if they are already in your life, and let them know how much you really appreciate them being in your life. I love how you make love to me. I love what you do for me. I love your smile. I love how you cook for me. I love the fact that you're so generous and kind and warm and loving. I love how you're so kind and generous and that, you listen to what I say. And I love how we share time together. And so like you're writing a love letter to your lover as if they're already there. So you're drawing in that energy. And then you write down on a separate piece of paper your full name, and you say, my perfect relationship is, attractive, honest, loyal, a good communicator, great in bed, available. You want to write the word available, nothing like attracting the right person and they're already taken. A good sense, like I said, a good sense of humor, loves to travel, supportive, understanding, healthy, financially self-support, whatever is important to you, great family values, considerate, good communicator. So when you're writing all this down, the kind of love that you have, you write it again and again and again, day after day or every other day. You write it at first, and then you say, I am number one. I am a loving person. I do love myself. I do love my partner. and I deserve this. I appreciate this. And then say to your guardian angels and to Saint Catherine with a C, Saint Catherine, she is the patron saint of love. All right. Say thank you for bringing this beautiful person, this beautiful energy into my life. So you be you, and life will take its natural courses and put you in the right position to meet somebody. Now, when you do go out on dates, all right, don't try to impress them. Just be yourself. And when you're being yourself, then whether the date works or not, the bottom line is, you know what? Don't go in there with an agenda, because again, that's expectations. So if you could just go just to simply have a good time. So if you have something in common and you really like each other, great. It calls for a second or third or fourth date, whatever. And if it sucked, it's like, you know what? It was nice meeting you for this short amount of time, and thank you. It was nice, even though we didn't have to connect, but it was nice meeting you.
But sir, what if your life? Oh, sorry, my mistake.
No,
you're good. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, what if your dating life is a series of, it's been wonderful to meet you one-time situations? Like, it's hard not to come with expectation when I used to just go, we're gonna play it how it is, and it always just runs its course. So we're gonna hang out and watch a movie, and we're good, and then it's over, and then that's a wrap. And it's like, oh well,
you didn't write your letter. You didn't write your letter.
Yeah.
You gotta write your letter.
No, wait. Okay. So what's your question?
Like, how do you go without an expectation when you have a personal expectation, in whether that's to, in my case, a relationship? Well, that's no longer my case now, not for the rest of the year, but just moving forward, like,
well, when you
having an expectation.
When you put and that's the human emotions, because you really want a relationship or you really want it to work, know. But this is where you have to put yourself in check, because then you're setting yourself up to be slam dunk. Because if you put the energy out there to whoever you're hanging time with, if you put the energy out there that you're feeling needy, all right, that's a big turnoff to people. If you're feeling needy or obsessive.
I get level at some points, yeah.
Okay. But the number one thing that attracts one person to another, more than looks, more than money, and personality is huge. But what's the most important thing is someone who possesses confidence.
Pheromones.
So if you possess confidence and you're happy-go-lucky within yourself, then you're saying, no, I'm happy to share my good energy with you. And if you can appreciate who I am, excellent. And if not, then boom. So that means you don't have enough love for yourself, because you're setting yourself with an expectation, because you're now putting your expectations into the other person and making them responsible for your happiness, rather than you sharing your happiness with the other person, and or vice versa.
Okay. Yeah, I value my own personal, like, confidence, personality. I don't think like that's an attraction to draw people in. I hadn't thought of it that way. Wow. Thank you.
I mean, there were times where I was really attracted to someone, but for whatever reason, for whatever stupid reason on their part, they weren't attracted or whatever.
I get that.
I mean, I rarely have that situation happen. It's happened a couple of times, but it's not a big deal. But on the most part, it's usually the opposite, where it happens to me, where people are attracted to me and I'm not as attracted, but whatever. But it's like, so there's some people who I just absolutely love and admire, but I don't look at them in a sexual way. They're just my great, loving buddy friends, bosom buddies, friends, whether it be, girls and or guys, But, I've been divorced a couple of times already. And, I make no bones about it that when I'm not happy, if the relationship has run its course, it's run its course, But I sincerely try. But, if the two of you have different expectations of one another, a lot of times what happens in relationship, that one person wants to stay the same, and the other person wants to grow and grow and grow. So it's like, it's about accepting each other for who you are and not what you think the other person should be. So when somebody's not meeting up to your expectations and you're not accepting them for who they are, that's where things really go bust.
Okay. I understand that for sure.
So right now, it's like, let me tell you something. For the last year, for the last year, I've been putting out loving thoughts, and I literally play love songs almost every day to draw loving attention to me. Like I wanted true love in my life. And not too long ago, I found someone that knocked my socks off. Absolutely knocked my socks off. So,
wow. Congrats.
And it was instant chemistry. It was love at first sight for me. And I always let her know that, and fortunately for myself, she feels the same way. So it took her a little longer to get to the same page as I am, but we're there. But you want to know something? Just because you have this loving dynamic, see, if the other person isn't naturally reciprocating to you, then let it go, because you don't want to make someone else feel obligated to do what you want them to do, because then it's not real. They're doing that just to be nice, and then you're getting this fake person, so you have their shell, but you don't have their heart.
That makes sense.
Like, what's the sense?
Yeah, what of continuing on.
So if I don't have your heart, so if I don't have her heart, then it's like, you're not doing me. Don't do it because you think you're doing me a favor. I'm not interested. I want you to be in it because I'm in it, and if you're in it with me, then we got a winning team. We got a winning thing going on. But if not, then forget about it. Forget about it.
Good about it. I appreciate that. Okay, I understand. I have some of those thoughts.
But when you're emotionally invested, so even though I'm giving you all this really good, logical, open mind and good advice and stuff, again, when you're emotionally invested, it's hard to hold back your emotions when you feel so strong or passionate. But like I said, if it's not being reciprocated, then just know when the show is over.
Okay. Yeah, I usually do a good job of finding that out. And like, okay.
You're good at that part.
Yeah. I don't try to push it. I understand, it happens. I don't ever force the issue on that. I just want to get past that point where, we're heading down that road again. I don't know. Okay.
You need this expectation because you think it's going to happen.
So let me say this.
Well, that's why you're right.
So let me tell you this.
Mm-hmm.
If you are you there?
Yes.
Yeah.
You there?
Yes.
Yeah, we're here.
There you are. All right. So if you're going into a situation already thinking that, you know what, I'm afraid this is going to happen again, or, here we go again. Well, guess what? You're going into the situation with a losing attitude.
It's done.
So you're putting the energy out there. Again, you're putting the expectations into the other person, or you're feeling self-pity for yourself. So it's like, I feel such a loser. I want someone in my life. Like,
that's me every
really
day.
Loves me.
That was just me 3 days ago.
That's
I would say,
if you're feeling that way about yourself, then what do you have to offer to the other person?
Exactly.
You want to be loved, held, and nurtured, but yet, what are you offering to the other person?
Comic books.
Yeah.
So that's why I really say to you, find that happiness within yourself to do whatever makes you happy.
Wow.
Do what makes you happy. And then share that happiness with someone else.
I agree.
That's the dream. We're all just trying to be like the one married guy in our group. So, eventually that's the goal. But
of course, well, I got news for you.
Mm-hmm.
Both my parents were married since forever. They were married for 64 years, non-happily. And I learned a lot from their relationship, from their mistakes. They were married for 64 years, and they chose to stay in it. My father had a very difficult personality. My mother was the saint of all saints. She was like a beautiful soul, very unconditional with her love, just a beautiful, beautiful person. And she was, she was loved by everybody who knew her. And but they had a very tarantulas type of relationship. So I've learned through my father what love is not, and through my mother I've learned what love is. So when you're when you're growing up in a relationship that is very challenging, then I'll give you an example. I wrote my father a thank you letter for being my dad, and I said to him, thanks to you, I've learned what not to do because you stepped on all the landmines.
Oh,
Now, my
wow.
father wasn't all bad. My father also had really good qualities about him. And I did get some really good stuff about life from my dad. But emotionally, he was a very, very difficult person to have a relationship with or to hang time with because he had such a negative attitude.
Mm.
You know, through him, I learned what love is not. So because he caused so much pain, I so don't want to give that pain to other people. So my dad strongly taught me not to be, or not to be disrespectful to other people, because I saw all the bad vibrations or all the bad experiences that my father has caused by his attitude and his impatience with other people. He was very selfish in many ways. You know, and my mother was a very selfless person in many ways. And so because she was filled with so much fun and laughter and love, that's how I wanted to be. And not that my father didn't have love. He had love. He shared it in his own way, and the way he provided it in other ways. Like if the chips were down, my dad was there for you when it came to family. My dad was always there for you if the chips were down. But, you know, as far as emotional support and stuff, wasn't my dad. That was my mother. So,
Wow.
but like I said, I learned a lot. Both my brothers are also in the same marriages since they got married from day one. And one's married about 37, 38 years. My other brother's married like 45 years. And I always wanted that. But, you know, the cards life didn't take me in that direction. And based on my choices, could I have stayed in my first marriage and just stayed comfortable in the uncomfortableness? Yeah, comfortable in the uncomfortableness. But you know what? Like I said, I saw my mother so miserable for so many years, and I wasn't fully happy. So, and my wife and I, we hardly ever argued. So, but I wasn't happy. I knew she wasn't fully happy. I wasn't giving her everything she wanted because I didn't have it within my heart to give her what she wanted. So I just knew that's what I say, know when the show is over. You know?
Okay.
And then I had other relationships after that. And again, I wanted all of them to work out, but it just didn't happen for me that way. It is what it is. But you know what? I know who I am through my spirituality. I help out thousands of people. I meet lots of people. I make a positive impact in other people's lives. I have personal friends. I love sports. I have lots of interests with hobbies and stuff. So, you know, I enjoy it. And now I have a wonderful girl in my life, you know, so it's all cool. It's all really good.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a question about, so have you ever been somewhere where like you've had this vision and this like word from the other side where they weren't having a reading, but you were just sitting there somewhere where like, hey, so-and-so says they need you to know this. Has that ever happened
absolutely.
to you? What is that like though? I know you said like it just kind of just comes to you. I mean, like the first time it really happened, like what was that like? Is it like, do you see it as like an aura of colors coming in, or I know you said it's like strong and stuff, but like that first time, what was that like? Like, was it what you expected?
What was my first time? What is the question?
So
you say, what was it like the first time? What specific? What are you talking about? What was the first time?
Like the first time you connected to the spirit world and you got to tell somebody something. What was? Is it like?
Oh
is
my
it the same
God!
every time now, or was it like?
That was like totally being on the highest drug ever. That was so exciting. The first time it happened, I was like, "Oh my God, this is like so cool." You know, the very first time, well, it happened when I went to the Edgar Cayce Foundation. You know, hold on. I was at the Edgar Cayce Foundation. They broke us up into groups, and they said, whoever you're with, whatever you get, whatever information, just share it with the other person. So there was a group of 8 of us in one circle, and so we all had to connect to one person. All right, the whole group connected to one person. And then after we did that one person, it was the next person's turn. So the whole group would connect to the next person, and the whole group. So that's the way it was. So anyway, so my very first experience is we were connecting to this one guy. And I said to him, I'm seeing a rectangle, and there's like, but at the end of the rectangle, it's kind of shaved down. I go, what does that mean? He goes, I don't know. He goes, I don't know. So the group leader said, all right, don't worry about it. If they don't understand it, you'll get it later, or it might mean something later, but that's what you got. That's all right. Good. Don't worry about it. So it was the next person's turn. So they're looking at the fella and they said, I'm seeing farm, and I'm seeing a bunch of farm animals. And so the guy said, well, growing up, he says, my cousins, once during the summertime, me and my cousins and my siblings, we all would go to my grandfather's farm in Tennessee, and we would play on the farm with them, with all the farm animals and stuff. So the guy had that connection. But when he said we used to go to my grandfather's farm in Tennessee, I go, wait, that's what I saw. I saw the state of Tennessee. It was a rectangle, and there was a shaving at the bottom of it, which is the shape of Tennessee. So, like, even though it's a little thing, but to me, that was like, wow, that was amazing.
Oh, yeah, it was mind-blowing.
Something. So then, shortly after, later on, it was actually the next day, there was a lovely lady who was a part of our group, and she was an older woman, and she was in her 70s at the time, and she had beautiful, soft, white, curly hair and the most bluest eyes, and I believe her name was Anne. And I said, Anne, I said, you got the most beautiful eyes. And I said, you know, when I'm looking at you, I don't know why I'm seeing this. I'm seeing a window, and there's an angel in the corner of the window. It's like carved. I said, I don't know when I'm looking at you, why I'm seeing that. And she goes, Art, look over to the side of the wall and look on top of the wall. It was a tall wall. She goes, look on top of the wall. And I looked on top of the wall. I never even noticed it. And there was a window there with an angel carved in the corner. She goes, I was noticing that window all morning long. I kept on looking at it, and I was noticing it. So I said, wow, this is really cool that I'm able to pick up information with people. I mean, it's little tidbits here and there, but still, it was like information that had to do with that person. So then over the years, I started to develop it more and more. So people ask me a lot of times, Art, how do you get in that state of mind? Or what is it like to be in that state of mind?
That was my next question.
So I know that. So here I am.
He just read your mind, bro.
You're good, man. You're good.
Listen, it's like really,
going.
it's like really freaking, man. Like you're freaking me out, man.
It's like you're a psychic, dude.
Yeah, it's like I'm psychic. And I got news for you. My license plate says, I just know. So it was funny.
That's cool.
So I was at the beach. I was at the beach yesterday, and there was an older gentleman walking with his wife. You know, they were seniors. And so I had my door open because I was taking my socks and my shoes off to walk barefoot. And so the older gentleman came up to me randomly, and he looks at me. He goes, excuse me. And I'm looking at him. He goes, so tell me, what do you know? Because he saw my license plate. He goes, so tell me, what do you know? So I said to him, you know, a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Wow.
So this one girl comes up to me. And she said to me, I was right about to do a show for an audience. She goes up to me and she goes, so what kind of a psychic are you? I said, well, you know, I usually tell people in detail about their life and stuff. It's not like, you know, or when people ask me questions, I could answer their questions, or, you know, when I look at the cards, I could see what's going on in their future or whatever. It's not like I could just look at you and say, oh, I see you have 3 sisters, you live in a red house, and you're going to Florida. And she goes, but I am, and I do. I go, what are you talking about? She goes, I live in a red house, I have 3 sisters, and next week I'm going to Florida for a vacation. I go, oh, I guess I can do that.
Damn, you're better than you think.
I was only kidding. I was just trying to make a point across. I said, oh, shit, I guess I can do that. So what is it like to be in my shoes? So it's like,
about a 9.
You being in the passenger. It's yeah, I'm a size 10, by the way. So
Kyle's a psychic now.
I'm a size 15.
Show off.
That's what I was trying to do. Be like, hey. Oh.
Don't be hating. Okay, so picture this. So you're in the passenger seat of a car.
Mm-hmm.
All right, seriously now. So you're in the passenger seat of a car, and you don't have to pay attention to the road because the other person's driving. So you're in the passenger seat of the car, and you're just gazing outside the window. All right. And when you're gazing outside the window, you're going for a long car drive, whatever. You're really not paying attention to anything. You're quiet. You're just looking outside the window. and you're just random thoughts come into your head about whatever. You could be thinking about a kid that you knew since you were a child. You could be thinking about, your mother's cooking that you just had, just random thoughts. That's
Happens
exactly
to me all
what
the
it's like
time,
for me.
about 3 a.m. every morning, almost. Wake up thinking about
That's what
random
it's like
stuff.
for me. So what I do is I blank out my mind, and the spiritual world knows that I'm trying to gain information on behalf of the person or the situation I want to know about. And so the spiritual world will share thoughts with me or images with me or songs, and I'll share it with the person.
So how does is it like the same spiritual guides that you have? They're like the interpreter between you and the spiritual world that, like they're like, hey, so-and-so's loved one, this is what they're talking about. They tell them, they tell you, or is it more of like their loved ones come to whisper to you?
Their loved ones come to whisper to me. A lot of times when I excuse me, see, I'm speaking on the truth. A lot of times when loved ones come to visit me, oh damn!
Again.
So when they come to visit me, I'll take on their actions. I'll say the phrases that they say. I'll mention to the fact that the person got a tattoo on their behalf, or they have their ring on, or the things that they used to do back in the day, or let them know that they're okay, or little affirmations to let them know that they're okay. And you never have to worry about somebody who's crossed over, because when you're over on the other side, it's paradise. You could miss them. Mm-hmm. You could miss them. That's totally cool. But to worry about them, that's like worrying about somebody who's sitting on the beaches of Hawaii and times that by 10. That's what it's like on the other side.
So does loved ones, they don't miss you the way we miss them? Because they're here.
They see us every day.
They see us. We don't see them. So in turn, we're only missing their physical stuff. We shouldn't in turn truly miss the physical
relationship. We miss the physical relationship and what's connected to it with them. But their soul and spirit, like my mother who passed away, both my parents passed away years ago. But when my mom passed away, she lets me know she's around me all the time. And she shows me her birth date, 12/21. So, or I'll see little signs here and there, or pennies or dimes or something like that. And, but she lets me know that she's around in many different ways. So there was a time where I woke up. No, I want to explain another story first. After my mom passed away, I went to a friend's house out in Pennsylvania. And I said to my mother, I said, Ma, do me a favor. I want to know that you're okay and that you're around me. I said, don't show me one cardinal or two. I want to see many cardinals in a row. I said, show me many cardinals to let me know that you're okay. So when I went to my friend's house in Pennsylvania, in the middle of the winter time, there were 5 cardinals sitting in her bush right outside her window, her picture window. There was a bush on the other side, and there was 5 cardinals sitting there. And I was overwhelmed that they appeared. And that's how my mom showed me. Wow. Now, my cousin, who was also close to my mom, she said, Atha, she was from Boston. Atha, let me tell you something. I saw your mother the next day she passed away. She was right on my ceiling. As God is my witness, when I woke up, I saw an image of your mother in her wedding dress. She was beautiful and she was happy. And she was right on the ceiling. Just as I woke up, and I woke up in the middle of the night, and she was right there beaming. She was so beautiful. And, so they make themselves known.
So
right away.
do they recreate? So they recreate memories for you to see that.
Yeah, they won't always come to you. So your grandfather might not. Your grandfather will appear to you as you've known your grandfather at that age in that way. Whereas your grandfather will appear to your grandmother maybe younger, or your grandfather will appear to his friends maybe younger because that was their image of them, or that's how they want to be known.
My grandfather appears to me younger. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't see the the grandfather that passed away, when I see my grandfather, I see him as not like
as a younger version of your grandfather.
yes. And that's how I see him, like
That's
probably when I was like 6 years old, like that version right there.
Same.
That's really cool. So they will present themselves in the image of how you best remember them by.
So how do they know? Like, so I take it the easiest way for your loved ones to let them know that you're still here is through your dreaming. Is that because of like what you guys were talking about earlier about like the DMT, like what is being released into your brain that it's a way for them to connect to you? Or
I don't know the biological effect of how that's possible. All I know is that when the spiritual world, your loved ones want to visit you, one of the strongest ways that they visit you is through your dreams. And a lot of times when you see them, you'll speak to them, but they won't speak to you. They'll just smile and nod at you.
is it because you're asleep, you're more open, your brain is more open to it? Like, like as we,
yeah,
it's
you're
kind of like one of those, and it's kind of like one of those when you're young, the glass is like this, but as we're older, we fill it up with a bunch of stuff and we cloud it. So when we're asleep, do you think we're just more like in tune?
Yeah, because you're not as stressed, you're not as worried, you're not as fearful when you're in that sleeping state of mind.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you don't feel any pain when you're sleeping. Like when you're going in surgery and they cut up your body, you're knocked out, you're in that dream state, and so it's like totally awesome, man, to be in the dream state.
Oh goodness. Wow.
So it's easier when your mind and body is like just totally relaxed. But when you are, a lot of times loved ones won't visit the ones who want to see them the most because you haven't come to a place of acceptance, or you're so stressed out about it, or I love you so much, or you're stressing out so much. Unfortunately, they don't come when you're in that state of mind, but when you're more relaxed, or they'll visit other relatives, or other relatives will see them, or friends will see them, because they're not, yes, they still miss them, they still love them, but when you are strongly stressed out and intense
Mm-hmm.
and really missing somebody, your energy is blocking the flow from happening,
So it's, so like, how a lot of people go to visit graves and they go to talk to their loved ones. You don't really need to do that. You can just sit in your front yard and you can kind of just
100% correct.
Just calm out.
We go to grave sites for our own sake, not for their sake.
Because they're not really there. They're already here around us.
Right. They are wherever you are. So if you're walking down the patio to go to the grave, they're walking right behind you as you're walking to their own grave. And they're just with you. It's not like you're visiting them in a hospital room. They're not in the hole in the ground. It's just their shell.
Yeah.
It's just like you getting your hair cut, It's like, oh my God, your body is like your hair. So if you cut your hair, go, oh, what do you want me to do with this? I don't care. Throw it in the garbage. It's like, yeah, but this was a part of your body. This is
I want you to make a sweater out of it.
Yeah, there you go.
Make it a scarf.
Do you see auras? Do you see all that coming off of people as well? Or is that something of a different gift that people get?
It's usually of a different gift, but like the other day when I was doing an interview elsewhere, I did see auras on the person, which I very rarely see auras. It's not my forte, but I guess it's in my state of mind that I'm at, but it's not my forte. And different colors represent what state of mind that person's in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So whether it be blue, yellow, green, black, gray, white, whatever that person's state of mind is, that's what the aura is you're gonna project. But I really don't know I should look it up though, being that I've been doing this for 30 plus years. I still don't know what the colors represent as far as auras go.
If you don't see them all the time, why put the extra effort into it?
When I drive around late at night,
mm-hmm.
I see the purple light. I see purple light. Like, how you see the light in front of a car, like the head beams?
Mm-hmm.
I see that like that in purple, but along the side of the road. And that's my angels letting me know that they're around me. So if I want to project and ask my angels within my thoughts, my mind, please show me that you're around me, they will project the image of purple in front of me.
I mean, that's got to be somewhat soothing, just to know. And I think that's why a lot of people come to psychics and mediums, and they like to hear that, is because you are lucky enough that you get that soothing, you get that affirmation, you get that. Most people don't get that. We're kind of stuck in this limbo area where we'd like, hey, show me a sign, and nothing happens. You get, hey, I need to know, I need to see something, and you get to know, hey, I'm here. Is there something that people can do as a natural way, like maybe meditation or something, where they can actually try to get a little piece of that to them?
Yeah, meditating will 100% get you there. When you start to do yoga and or meditating, that'll help get you there, because you're connecting to your higher self. So what I strongly suggest, if people really want to meditate, go into a dark room, and I literally mean a dark room, and bring a candle with you and light the candle and just focus on the flame dancing, the dancing flame of a candle, and just focus on it with no expectation. Just look at it, and you might not get anything for a little while, but just that peace of mind and that serenity that you have, of that peaceful mind of quietness with you and God, or you and the spirit world, however you want to say it. And then there's going to be times when you are just allowing yourself to sit there in meditation. All of a sudden, messages are going to start coming into your head, and you could be thinking about your friend, and all of a sudden you feel like he's in trouble, or somebody's going to be having a medical issue, or somebody's about to hit the lottery, or somebody's going to go to Florida, or somebody's going to be calling you, or it's a friend you haven't thought of in a long time, and all of a sudden they're calling you the next day while you were meditating, you were thinking about them. So that's one way for you to get into that meditative state, is to sit in a dark room, light a candle, and just relax and pay attention to the dancing flame. And if you fall asleep, then you fall asleep, and that's okay. So only meditate for maybe 3 minutes or 5 minutes. Don't try to stay up for a long, long time. But the more you do it, the more you're training your mind to be more and more focused to stay there.
So you said you do this every Sunday. You sit down on Facebook and you sit down with your group of people that tune in, and you do this every Sunday. Where? I'd like to tune in on Sundays.
Okay, thank you. It's if you go to my Facebook, Angels and Answers, or if you go to Artie Hoffman Facebook or artiehoffman.com, there's a link to my Angels and Answers Facebook live show. And it's 8 p.m. Eastern time, 5 p.m. Western Pacific. So, and I read for people for an hour for free. And yeah, so I get a lot of messages sent to me, and I just answer them right away. At times I feel like I'm just blowing smoke, but then people say, "Oh my God, Artie, you were so right on," or "Oh my God, that was so amazing," or "Oh my God, that happened." So you'll laugh at this one. So I have a common joke that I say to girls when they ask me this one question. So there are girls that will ask me, "So Artie, do you see me getting pregnant soon?" And I say, "Yeah, when you stop watching my show and get in the bedroom, your chances are going to get much better."
Man.
I mean, I'll ask it. I'll jump on this grenade. So when I was younger, my mom went to a psychic, and she was told by the psychic that she saw another kid in her life. And my mom was told that she couldn't have any more kids. And she used to say, "You better use protection, Matt, because they said they're going to see a kid, blah, blah, blah." And so I kind of carried that with me. But lo and behold, years later, she got pregnant with my little sister, my last sister. So me being someone who has been single for a while, do you see a relationship coming for me in my life?
Yep.
And maybe marriage and a kid?
Yep. And she's actually going to be a little more on the rough side, believe it or not.
I'm not surprised.
She has like a rough edge to her.
Can
But
I
yet
mean?
she
Can you
has-
elaborate on what do you mean by rough?
Like she might be having tattoos.
Okay.
It's the style of the way she dresses. She's been through life. She's been through major challenges in her life growing up. She's had some hard knocks in her life. She might be, you know, a lot of her life might have been gothic, or she likes eccentric way of putting on makeup, or she might have tattoos, or the way she dresses. So that's what I see. She could also be liking to wear a scarf or a bandana around her or whatnot. She's going to be, like I said, a little on the rough side, but she has a really, really good heart. Her exterior shows a little on the rough side, but she has really good intentions, and she has a really good heart. And that's who I see coming into your life. She's on the slender side too.
That's so cool.
Interesting.
Wow. I'm not even gonna ask one.
Go for it, Corbin. Go for it.
I already got advice. I feel like that's the thing for me. That's why I'm weird with like I'm honored to be like part of a conversation with psychic. I feel so weird about knowing that stuff is predetermined or can be found
But
or
nothing is predetermined. You can change anything at any point. He said that. That's why there's
I know.
3 doors.
Based on your energy right now, this is what I'm saying.
Uh-oh.
Based on the energy,
And we all
right
love you.
now. Certain things
you,
are
Kyle.
written in stone.
Yeah.
Certain things are written in stone. It's going to happen come hell to high water.
Yeah.
And then other things have what I could call psychic probabilities, which means
That's
it can happen this way, it could happen that way. So we do, and that's where free will and choice is.
That's what you're at. Yeah.
Your attitude in life is what creates the probabilities of what's to happen in your life, the quality, whether it be great or whether it be crappy. You know. So again, if you are projecting a loving, positive person into your life and you visualize this, then this is exactly what you're going to get.
I have one more follow-up question. Have I met this person already?
I don't think so.
Interesting.
Nice.
I like that.
Now you know to be on the lookout and to make your list.
I gotta make my
And
list.
You work on yourself, you make your list, and the pieces should start trying almost on together.
And this girl is a very good conversationist. This girl could talk.
She has to be to keep up with that.
I'm shy. What are you talking about? I don't
Well,
talk.
that's the thing. She'll have to talk to you to talk. Like that's why.
Yeah, but is she a wrestling fan?
You know, like Bonnie Raitt would say, "Let's give him something
Yeah.
to talk about."
See, I love the music element.
Is she going to be a wrestling fan or a comic book fan? Or is it going to be introducing me to new things?
She's a girl, so no.
Probably not.
I doubt it. I don't know if she's going to be into that. But like I said, she's an interesting. She has an interesting look about her, and you're gonna wonder, like, oh, can I take this home to mama?
Interesting.
But she does have a really good heart. She does have a really good heart, and a lot of her attitude is, I don't give a shit what people think.
Interesting.
Sweet.
Perfect. Awesome. I have to jump on that question though, only because I made like a resolution, no dating for Corbin for like the rest of the year. Like I'm a 2021.
Tell him he couldn't do that.
Like just in general, I've just been. It's not even a negative thought. Like I don't want to. I've already been like projecting. Like I'm not even about that. For me, it's really to focus on myself and try to, work on things that I have like shortcomings on and try to be better. With that being said, is there a plan eventually, or am I going to be able to kind of go on my own terms on that? How do you see it working out? If I can ask.
There's this thing called the dream board. You ever hear of a dream board?
Yes, I have one. I had one years ago. I have it more like a dream journal now.
Yeah,
it's true. I write
dream board.
That's awesome.
A dream board are pictures you get from magazines or from anywhere, and you create your own vision board of what you want to experience in your life. So again, if it's in the forefront of your mind, then you will manifest it. But if you say, I want this, I want that, but your actions are doing differently, the spiritual world is going to follow your actions and your thoughts. Never, ever, ever say what you don't want. You're only allowed to say what you do want. Because if you say, I don't want to be old and alone, then you are going to grow up old and alone, because your energy of fear is greater than your energy of desire.
That's
wow.
interesting. Very interesting.
So only focus on what you want to experience, not what you don't want. So the difference between wanting and desire, everything you have in your life, whether you like it or not, everything you have in your life, you desire.
Wow.
Is this the kind of stuff that you talk about in your book?
Because all your actions have created it. So
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. So you could say, I want to be a millionaire. I want to
I want to be a millionaire.
I want to do this.
I want a big old package.
All right, but you want to be, but are your actions creating that to happen? So your desires are your thoughts put into action, creates your desire, creates your reality. Wanting is just a thought. That's all it is. I want this and I want that. So it's just a thought. So God gives you the feeling of just wanting. So you could want and keep on wanting, but you have to claim it as if it's already happening. Like failure is not even a choice.
So like I decided, hey, I want to restore an old car. And it was in my mind, it was set. This is what I want to do. And because of doing that, like the option was presented that I got to, that it was there, and like the chips fell into place that I could do it. Is that what you're kind of getting at?
Yeah. So it will just stay there as a jalopy or with nothing, or you could take something that was put in front of you and take it. Now, a lot of people do will. You know how people could will themselves to die?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you could will yourself to live. You could will yourself to get better. You could will yourself to manifest prosperity in your life. You could will love into your life. You could will health. You could will it. If you want it that bad enough, you will it where it's not even an option. But then a lot of times things are presented to people when it's right there, and then they push their power away, or they push it away. And then they complain that they never got what it is that they wanted. Whether it be the nice person that they always wanted, or the nice situation, or the job. A lot of people are actually afraid of success.
Well, then you accomplished something.
They're so used to always chasing after what they want that when it's there, they push it away. And then they go back in that self-pity stage, getting back into that chasing again.
I know that feeling. I want it so bad, but when I got it, I don't know what to do with it. Right? Is that how a lot of people are? I want it so bad, but I don't know what the fuck to do with it. Now I got it. Fuck, I don't want it no more.
Yeah, it's like people go out fishing and you want to catch some mackerel or some blues, and instead you catch a freaking tuna or a whale. Like shit, I only wanted but you wanted it so bad that this was presented to you.
So do you talk about this in your book? Is this stuff you cover in your book? What is your book about?
My book, you're going to think that I wrote this book specifically just for you, and I mean that. Everybody who reads my book, you would think that this book was written just for you. This book is written about life on a deep spiritual level, but it's explained in very simplistic forms. So give you an example. I explained a lot to you guys tonight, to the audience, on a very deep level, but yet you could understand everything that I said.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I explained to you on a deep level, I explained to you in a way that you could understand I gave you a different perspective of your life and life itself. And that's what my book is about. And it's about different topics. And it explains about different angels and saints and what their purpose is and what their sinew is. So there's 12 different angels and saints, 10 angels and 2 saints that are in my book, and it explains about. And there's a couple of cool stories that I wrote in there of my personal experiences. And then again, I wrote some beautiful pieces about life. And like I said, it's going to hit you home. It's going to hit your heart really well.
Where can we find your book?
So if you go to artiehoffman.com, or if you go on amazon.com, you could get my book. and it's only $15. And I promise you, it's going to make a huge impact in your life. And it's a very simple reading book, and it has some really beautiful illustrations in there, beautiful pictures in there that you're going to appreciate.
That's awesome.
And
That's awesome.
yeah, and then like I said, so if people want a private reading from myself, if they want to know about their life, personally or business or whatever, you could always give me a call, because I do phone readings as well as in person. I'm in Woodbridge, New Jersey, but I'm just as accurate over the phone as I am in person. And I do Artie parties. So if you're buying, I'm flying. I'll read for your friends and family at your own home.
That's awesome. Artie
You
party.
Brian, I'm fine. There we go. Artie for the party.
So,
That's pretty fucking catchy.
Artie
There.
for the party.
So
there you go.
you've
So
incited
if
Matt.
You go to Artie, so if
Yep.
you go to Artie Hoffman at Gmail, you can email me, Artie Hoffman at Gmail, or check out my website. I have a lot of YouTubes, little mini videos, like 4 or 5 minute long YouTubes. Explains a lot about life. ArtieHoffman.com. And if you wanted to book an appointment with me, you can call me at 732-778-7173, or you can text me, and I'll repeat it, 732-778-7173.
7173.
So you've given Matt a little bit of insight. You've given Corbin a little bit of insight. What do you see when you see Kyle? That's me.
A talking no. I'm sorry. I had to. Okay. Artie's thinking. I had to pass it by. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Well, you're very inquisitive. When you see something that you like, you're the type of person that will do research on it. You're a very inquisitive person, and you're a very detailed-oriented person. Sometimes you get so detailed in depth with people that even if they're not interested, it's like you try to convince anybody that you are very passionate about. You have a hard time reading people, whether they're interested or not, because you're so passionate about it. You go on and on and on and on. And I'm not saying that through personal experience, because you weren't like that at all today, because you're interviewing me. But I'm telling you intuitively, it's important for you to understand that when you're in a healthy conversation with somebody, if they're on board with what you're saying, then keep on talking about the topic. But if you see that they're thinking differently than you, or they're really not that interested, then stop wasting your time and energy. Don't try to convince anybody else. Just accept it for what it is and just say, all right, you know what? You're not into it, or you don't agree with me. You could say, we agree that we disagree, and that's okay, rather than starting an argument. You'd say, what are you, freaking stupid? It's obvious.
That's 100% Kyle.
You were in our life.
100%
You were there.
Kyle.
You are sitting next to him.
Whatever.
Wow.
So where
I
can
promise
everybody,
you
once
guys
again,
didn't pay me $1,000 just to say that to you.
so once again, where can everybody get a hold of you at?
Yes.
Well, you can call me at 732-778-7173, or Artie Hoffman at Gmail, ArtieHoffman at Gmail, Artie Hoffman at Gmail, or go to artiehoffman.com, and you can get my book. And like I said, Sunday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern time, I do a free Facebook Live show. And I'll send it off to you. I'll send you a link, or I'll send it to you.
Yeah, please.
This Sunday. And if you could just share it with your audience and
Absolutely.
stuff like that, that would appreciate.
Oh, no problem. I can't wait to be there Sunday night. I'm really excited about this.
So I have a girl, Mary, who reads all my questions. I don't pick the questions of which ones are right, because I get literally like 1,000 questions.
Pick me,
within a
Mary.
show.
Pick me.
So I just she'll randomly pick a question, and while I'm looking at the camera, she'll read it to me, and then I look at the camera and I answer the question right there on the spot.
Sweet. That's awesome. I can't wait. I'm really excited about Sunday.
Yeah. So listen, thank you so much for having me on your show. I really enjoyed myself.
It was so much fun. I really
you.
appreciate all your insight, and all of your knowledge that you're willing to share with us. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Artie, for
My
sure.
Yes,
pleasure.
thank
And
you
I'm
very
telling
much.
You, check out the book. I promise you, it's going to make a big impact in your life. And when I tell you it's simplistic, it's a deep, like I explained a lot of deep issues with you, but I explained it in a very simplistic form. And that's what I'm all about. I want to make sure that everyone understands what I'm saying.
It's
That's
easy
awesome. You can connect to everybody instead of just one level of person. You get every level of person, which is brilliant.
You're going to have many aha moments when you read my book. Trust me.
Awesome.
And I'm going to leave you with this one last thought. And this is in my second book. I'm writing a second book, and it should be out in the fall time.
Please come
goal.
back and tell us about this book as well.
Yeah, the second book is called "Have Your Angels Call My Angels."
That's awesome.
like the title.
It's good.
And this book is called "Angels and Answers." Hold on a second. Hold on 2 seconds. I'm going to put you down for a second.
Yeah, no problem.
We should ask him what he sees as far as like the prosperity of our show.
That
moving
was
forward.
Crashing
So
and burning.
this is what my book looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow.
That's
Like
what my
the
book looks like.
Who did the artwork, if I may ask?
Yeah, very talented girl, Crystal Mannering, and I'm starting to write my own greeting cards. I'm starting to write my own happy birthday and loving greeting cards because most cards out there suck.
Yes, they do.
You're not lying about that.
You
Yes, sir.
sit there in the aisle and you're
So
like,
I throw a lot of humor and a lot of deep loving thoughts, and sometimes you want to share love with somebody, but you're not like you're like madly deeply in love with them, but you just want to share loving thoughts. And sometimes a lot of times the cards out there are too incredibly stupid, or they're so deep and passionate. It's like, but I don't feel that way about the person. I love them, but I'm not deeply in love.
that's how you with
Like, you wanna
Corbin.
send a card.
Right back at you.
Yeah.
Kyle.
So
We have that. Yeah, I agree. I mean, when you get that card, that's what Kyle's getting for Christmas. You heard it here first, folks. I'm throwing the Matt and me go back. You know, it's gonna happen.
it's gonna be called Artie's Cards.
That's awesome. I
You
like
gotta
it.
have one called Artie for the party. You have to, Artie.
Artie for
Dude.
the party. dude.
Artie for the party.
ArtieForTheParty.com. Book me here. That's awesome.
Guys, it was a pleasure sharing time with you. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you
for
for
being
coming on.
here. Thank you very much. Please
We'll
don't
have
be
to
a
have you-
stranger. When
Yes,
your
we'll
next
have to
book
get you
comes
back
out,
on soon.
Please come back.
Please. Thanks.
All right, you've been a lovely audience. Next show at 11 tomorrow.
I'll keep you up to date. I'll keep you up to date if I meet her. I'll send you an email if and when it happens.
Oh, it will happen. You'll see.
All right.
There it is.
I can't
Thank
wait.
you.
I hope it's
Just
sooner
don't
than
jump the
later.
gun.
There you
All
go.
right, take care, guys.
All right.
Take
Thank
care.
you.
Sure, have a good
All right.
night. Thank you very much.
It was cool.
Oh man.
All right.
That guy
ladies
was
and gentlemen.
awesome.
Yes. Thanks again for Artie Hoffman for joining us. That was a great time. A lot of insight.
So I missed what he actually said to you, Matt, because I was actually getting ice and refilling my drink.
You missed out, man. You got to late to the playback.
I think I actually kind of missed both of your guys's. When I came back, I thought he was talking about your mom.
No, so well, I was gonna say before we get into that, let's talk about you real quick. How do you think he described you? Because I was trying to read you as he was reading you to kind of see what you thought. Hit or miss?
If he watched me if he watched the episode, if he happened to catch the episode with the ghost hunter paranormal guy, yes, he fucking nailed it. If that was the basis of his episode,
For me, where he nailed it is your responses to things.
Mm-hmm.
And how you're just like whatever, and you just keep going on about things. You know?
Yeah, that part had me. A lot of the passion too, because even things that you start out with like a moderate level of passion and everything, in my own opinion, but then you're like really hyped up, and it could be about a lot of things. And I can't if I'm not hyped, I'm sorry, I'm not going to get hyped.
but the stuff he was talking about is something that seriously interests me. I think it's a very cool fringe topic. I think psychics, mediums, I think that stuff is really interesting. and I was trying not to be. I was intentionally trying not to be overbearing about it, like I was with the Ghost Hunter rapper interview
DJ,
that we did. Yeah,
comedian, impressionist.
I was intentionally trying not to be like, I was trying not to steal the entire show. I was trying to leave it as we were all doing stuff so that it didn't give me that impression of being overbearing, like I'm really not at all, even a little bit.
So he told me, so I started off by telling him that my mom actually went to a psychic many years ago, before, you know, when I was younger. After my sister, she was told that she couldn't have any more kids. And she went and saw someone that called herself the Angel Lady, and they told her that they saw her raising another child. And she was told, I can't have kids. So she came to me right after and was like, well, I was just told that I was seen raising a child, so don't you fucking think I'm going to raise your goddamn child if you get a girl pregnant at your age. And I was probably like 16, 17 at the time. And she's like, you better fucking wear a condom because I'm not raising any of your goddamn kids.
Jimmy, that shit up.
Yeah. So it kind of sat there in my head for a little bit. And every time I was like, I got to make sure I wear a condom. And I would always be like, oh shit, did I get this girl pregnant or whatnot? And then months or years later, she got pregnant with my little sister. And I was like, there it is. And I even said something to her once. I was like, there's that kid that you were seen raising. It wasn't fucking mine. And she was like, yup. So, and I asked, I said, do you see me being in a relationship, me finding someone, me having kids? And he was like, and that's what he said. He said, yeah, I see someone coming into your life. She's going to be rough around the edges and have maybe have tattoos, or, you know, she's going to be someone that's going to look like you. I'm going to question, should I bring her home to mom? And I asked him to elaborate on rough around the edges.
Ugly, dude.
Probably.
She has a good heart.
Yeah.
That means she's but her face.
Well, she said slender. I don't know if that's the only physical description.
He said slender, and he said that she's going to be rough around the edges and have tattoos. And
you'd have to go like this, talk to her when you'd bring her home.
Well, see, that's why I after he was so oddly like specific that if it does happen, I'm like, whoa, that I did not ask about myself personally. I asked like around it things, but I don't want to know the exact type of person that I will be like dating or whatever, or if I will or whatnot. I just asked like, what do I need to do? Like general kind of periphery type questions. So I actually like that Matt went for it with the direct one. I feel like I've had like the last 3 episodes where I've been able to turn to some type of advice thing, and this one was more.
I like how we went in like 3 different directions.
Me?
With him, we all did something different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
we tried to like Matt went the very direct route. He was like face to face. He's like, I want to know some shit.
But me and you had this conversation privy to our private conversations. Me and you had this conversation the other day where I said, I don't think I'm going to meet anybody. I'm going to die alone. You know, we pretty much had that same conversation one-on-one, 3 days ago? So it's crazy that he hit on that, and he was like, you know, you can't sit there and say it's not going to happen because then it's not going to happen. You know, it's
everything that I said.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. When I saw Matt with the new haircut on Facebook, I knew he was getting a girl eventually.
Oh, my God.
He cleans up well. You clean up well, Matt. It's going to happen. You clean up nice.
But it was a lot of things that I had said to Matt the other day, though. You know, it's going to happen. You know, and I've told you a bunch of times you need to do you, and other things will fall in place. So he's not saying anything.
He was pretty oddly specific.
But for some, okay, here's the thing though, Kyle. You're a good friend. I would expect you to say that. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna say, you know, Kyle. But even as real as you are, I'm not gonna be Kyle. I'm never gonna find. We like, damn man, you know what? You're right. Like that's not what I expect to hear from. You know what I mean? You might say, hey, you have to try really hard. You might give some tough love, but ultimately, you have an optimistic thing. So I think with advice, it's more of like a peer. I mean, for Matt, like a best friend, than someone like Artie, who, depending on how Matt looks at him, I won't speak for you, is not an authority, but someone who comes from a different perspective entirely.
We should have had him do fucking Brian since Brian wasn't here.
That would have been one.
That
would have been a good one.
I fucking hate you both right now. And me
too. Whoa.
But he was cool. He was interesting. He was. I'm so glad that he. But did he? So he said you're gonna meet some fugly ass bitch.
That's not what he said. But okay. That's not
So
what he said. But
you're gonna meet Snaggletooth,
oh my god.
who's gonna be rough around the edges with like 5 kids and a couple tattoos.
Well, she's gonna like scarves, like bandanas or something. You're right, a lot of tattoos.
Well, he just said that she might be wearing.
Member.
No, she just said she might be wearing a scarf or something over her head.
You
When
know where you're gonna meet her. You know where you're gonna meet her.
So she's covering her face so you can't see how fugly she is.
He's gonna meet her at 2021 Fan Fusion, baby.
Yeah, all he said was she's got tattoos and she's rough around the edges, which is interesting to me because, spoiler alert, I'm usually not attracted to women that have tattoos.
Wow, all you ladies out there.
And that's another thing you're saying too is and he was actually explaining that too, is when you have these pre-notions of how you want something, it cuts a lot of shit out instead of just accepting a person for them.
Yeah.
So what he's saying is you're actually going to accept a person for who she is.
Which is something I will admit to my own fault I don't do.
5 kids and tattoos.
Yeah.
Well, he never mentioned the kids part. That's interesting.
He never
But
said
you know what?
kids.
I did ask he's gonna have a wife and kids.
I took that
maybe
from
it's
what he
package
said
deal.
that she has 5 kids.
He didn't say anything about her looks or that she had kids, other than that she's gonna have
She said she wants
tattoos.
to cover up because she's fugly.
That's not what he
That's
said.
not what- yeah.
But okay, but he said she's gonna have tattoos, be rough around the edges, which okay, and then like
So
because
she's a biker.
what I'm sitting here thinking to myself,
Awesome. So Matt's gonna ride bitch on the motorcycle, and his arms are gonna be around his tattooed, rough around the edges biker bitch. So she's gonna be wearing the shirt, that
which will
says,
probably happen because I'm scared to ride a motorcycle because there isn't been anything with a motor and 2 wheels I haven't crashed.
she's gonna be wearing the shirt that says, "If you can read this, the bitch fell off." And that means you fell off.
Probably.
Fuck yeah.
But it was interesting, and that's why I wanted to ask. And here's why I asked.
But
So hold on,
one
I've
more
been
thing.
talking.
Okay.
I've been talking to a woman for a few months now, and because
Is she
of
fugly?
Oh,
but
Like,
no, hold
tattoo?
on. But because of coronavirus, and I'll get to that. We haven't seen each other. We FaceTime and talked, but she's
Does
not.
she know you do a podcast?
She's not rough around the edges. She's not. She doesn't have. She has 1 tattoo right here. Not a lot of tattoos.
She's not rough around the edges to you.
Right.
Is it right here?
No.
Shout out to Greg.
Yeah.
It's right here.
Let's hear.
That's why
let's
I
hear.
specifically asked.
Mhm.
Is it anybody I've met yet?
Oh, he said he didn't think so.
But he
didn't
said
say
no.
that.
He
He
said
did-
no.
he
He
did.
said he didn't.
He said, "I don't think so."
He said he don't think so. He did not say definitively no. Because I was waiting to hear it too. Because I knew when Matt asked that question, wait a second, there has to be someone in the picture because that's a very oddly specific question. And then he gave a very directly vague answer. Because he could have just said no. He said I don't think so. That might be that probability. Whatever.
But
Wait, did he
But-
just say
but-
I'm an
hold on.
overbearing prick?
I don't want to show her. I am on Bumble. I am on a dating website. All right.
All right.
Bumble this bitch.
I will show
I
you.
wasn't getting buzzed like
I will show you a picture.
Show it.
After,
Show it.
No, I don't want to
Show
do it
it.
here. I don't want to do it here.
Show it.
I
Let
will
us
show
see
you a
it.
picture of someone I matched with.
Let us see.
Let me see if I can
She have 2 heads.
do it without.
She have
So
a big hole right
Kyle
there.
has come with the.
I don't want to show her picture on the podcast.
All right, that's fine. Privacy.
I will
Her
show you-
eyes, so we can't see her.
I will show you
Privacy and
guys.
whatnot.
I will show you guys after the show.
All right.
There's nobody listening to us right now.
Shut up.
There's
Shut up.
nobody
No,
listening.
shut up.
Go
I'm gonna do
ahead.
it out of
and
respect.
show
Out of
us.
respect for this person
That's
who I
true.
don't
What's on
know
YouTube?
and have never
What's on
talked to.
YouTube?
I'm not.
Wait,
gonna,
you just matched? You didn't
You
talk
yeah,
to
talked
them?
no,
to her?
not yet.
Whoa, what? How long you
Hold
been
on.
Whoa.
So Bumble, the women have to go first.
I
Okay.
know. Yep. I've
So
tried it.
we
She hasn't
matched.
gone first yet.
We matched, and nothing's
Not
happened.
good.
But I will
Not
show.
good.
Hold on. I will show you the
Ooh,
picture
Matt, fucking swipe
after the
right.
show,
Okay.
and you'll tell me what you think.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna tell you right now. He fucking nailed it.
So that's my next question.
Whoa.
That was my next point I was going to get to. Okay, so this is what's happened. It's kind of like a horoscope. He has put this idea in your head now. Now you're looking around for this answer.
I promise you, he so oddly nailed this.
He nailed you
crazy.
though, Kyle. He nailed you too.
No, he didn't. He was so far off. It's insane.
I don't think so.
I disagree as well. At least from what I know
It
about
was easy to get through this episode. It was easy to get.
No,
Well,
dude,
it was easy to get you because you don't act any differently, Kyle. I'm sorry.
I trust Corbin. I sat here and watched Corbin because I have my idea, and I'm like, I don't know if that's Kyle or not. I watched Corbin the entire time, just going, yup. Like,
because when he first started, at first I'm like, I thought he was gonna go for some vague reaching, but knowing Kyle, like at least I do, I'm sitting there going, oh no, he's on. Because at first I'm like, oh, he did some research. You might have listened to the last show or the last show. But in my mind, I'm like, but Kyle doesn't change. It's not like me where some days I'm animated, some days I'm kind of quiet. Like Kyle is Kyle.
No matter what.
but he nailed it. In there's so many times where you and I, Kyle, are having conversations, and you're telling me something that I'm not into, and I say something back, and you're like, whatever, dude, you know that's fucking cool, and you just keep going for it, like you keep pushing it.
Drives it, and it doesn't just drive the other person. It drives you and it drives whoever you're talking to. We all move in the same direction.
Huh?
I know when I'm right. You guys just haven't come around to it yet.
Oh my goodness! But
Nubia will be the ipso facto definitive.
She will. Yep. After she has to.
Okay, if Nubia is listening right now,
She is. She just messaged in the chat.
So repeat for Nubia what
I can't remember. She said she's going to go back and watch it.
She said she's going to watch it again, and then
she said I'm an overbearing asshole.
Chuck says true.
Chuck
knows you better than any of us.
I'm like, I don't know if he used the a-hole correctly, but like, I mean, come on, Kyle. What does Kyle see himself as?
No, he used the a-hole correctly.
Listen, I haven't known as Kyle's on as you have. I don't want to say that it's in the area.
He said, what he pretty much said was, if I like it and I'm talking about it, I don't care what you think. It's the right answer.
100%.
Yes,
100%.
That's your whole dude. That's your stance, Kyle. Like,
and eventually, what's going to happen is you're going to realize it's the right answer too.
He didn't say. I don't remember him saying that part, but
no, he said that you don't care what anyone else says, and you're going to argue it until someone's like, "All right, let's agree to disagree."
Because he said that you can say that, and I can't remember the last. You said it. No, Kyle said it like a show ago with me. I think, or maybe he agreed with me, but that's not something Kyle says. He's either going to stick to his stance, and then usually either we all agree or whatever, dude. Like, you don't know what you're talking about, this and that, and then we agree to move on for time's sake. I'm just saying, I think he was on this. Like, he was on, and
it was easy to get for me because I was.
But that's you, though.
I was pushing things, though. Like, it's easy to get that because I was when I was asking questions to him, I was pushing. Like a point.
Well, to be fair, you were. I think you weren't quite as, and you said it, so it backs up what I was thinking. You were a lot like peppering questions and stuff, but you weren't half as. Here's the show. I'm gonna take it over as you can be with other guests. You weren't that way, but even so, your passion shone through, in a sense that you had follow-up questions, you engage, boom, boom, boom. But that's you and everything. I haven't seen an episode where Kyle goes, oh, this guest or whatever I'm not interested in. But I also haven't seen one where Kyle's like, I'm so excited for every guest.
And you are naturally inquisitive because I can tell you something and you always ask why. I can always guarantee you what you are going to ask why. So I have to make sure whenever I bring something to you, I have the why, because I know that when I present something to you, the next question is why.
Like, I think it was pretty good from my perspective. Like, I wish there was some like yes or something to like pick at, but like I didn't see it. I don't know.
Chuck says example, bad religion t-shirt.
So what that was, I used to be a huge, I still love them, but I used to be a huge bad religion shirt. Or bad religion.
You used to be a huge bad religion shirt, huh?
So I don't know if you know what the bad. I don't know if you know what the bad religion is.
I'm glad you transformed into a person for me to shirt.
But so the bad religion was the Christian cross. It was circled and it was crossed out, and that was what bad religion shirts were. And it was kind of weird at the time. I was like, you know how everybody goes through this time where they're like, where you question religions. You question, okay, I've been told to believe in God. I've been told to believe in Jesus, or I've been told to believe in whatever, you know what I mean? And you're like, and you get to a point where you're like, okay, I can logically think as a person that doesn't 100% make sense, right? So what I did was I was like, you know what? I've been grown up to know that it's Jesus, it's God, it's the Bible, it's this is what it is. And I was like, you know what? But you know what? There's people who believe in Buddha. There's people who believe in Hinduism. So what I started to do was I started to look into these other religions to see what they were about. And I was researching these other religions because I was like, you know what? Maybe Jesus, Christianity, maybe this isn't my path. Maybe this is the wrong way to believe. So I decided, hey, you know what? What's wrong with studying other religions? So to go from my house, when Chuck lived with me, where my parents still live, to get to my brother-in-law's house, which he wasn't my brother-in-law at the time, he was just Joseph. Chuck and I would cut through these two alleys to get to his house. So we were walking, and there was this dude playing basketball, and he stopped me because of my bad religion shirt. And he started this thing about, you know, blah, 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 crossed out, cross, blah, blah, blah. I'm not even going to get into that. So I started saying, well, what about this? What about this? You know, what about this religion? What about this religion? And long story short, what happened was after this discussion we had, he was like, hey, man, want to play basketball? Because it was just this, you know what I mean? Like I had this point of view and I gave it to him, and he didn't really have an argument for me anymore. I don't even know how long we fucking
argued him into submission.
I did, but I didn't argue him into submission. I proposed different points of view with facts behind it. That's not arguing.
Curiosity.
Okay, but I wasn't a dick about it. How's that? I wasn't a dick about it.
Just like if I were to say ghost sucks, you're gonna propose that I'm wrong.
Oh, don't let
if
me.
I could mute you and not kick you out, I already would have.
And there it is. I would say, guys, like,
right.
That triggers Matt more than you.
Trust me, you guys are here, and I'm like 2 steps ahead. You just haven't caught up yet. That's the point.
We should have fucking.
Ask Brian. Ask Brian.
What's that?
Oh my gosh, you missed our site. Give a total breakdown of Kyle that Kyle disagrees with. Like, complete breakdown of personality and just, I mean, mind you, I think Kyle maybe made it a little more harsh than I thought, but I thought it was pretty spot on. So we're debating it and talking about Kyle's attributes, and you know how arguments, you know, there's certain, you know, there's an agree to disagree type person, and there's a, well, you're wrong, conversation over type person, and you know, the spectrums are there, and where Kyle leans. Kyle likes to think himself as a, you know, there's an interchange of dialogue, and ultimately he's trying to lead you on the right direction of which you're wrong, and he's somewhere else. He's trying to take you, and sometimes he got to take you and lead you over there. Force.
Well, yeah.
You know, he doesn't say it that way, but he's just trying to help you see where he's coming from because he's right. But he doesn't know that.
He said that Kyle is a naturally curious person, that he always researches. If he's curious about something, he researches it, and he researches it. And then if he's excited about something or into something, he tells you all about it. Even if you don't care, he still tells you. And if you have a different opinion, he's going to be like, that's cool, but then continue to tell you about it. And basically try to tell you like why you're wrong and why your opinion should be different. And he pretty much argue into submission. Now, Nubia was in the chat. She said she missed it. She's going to listen back. Chuck confirmed that he nailed Kyle. I think he nailed Kyle. Corbin thinks he nailed Kyle.
Game over. If Chuck says it and then Nubia says it, then game over. Like, I don't even need to say anything.
Nubia, the word, she has to really listen back, or even listen to what Matt just said and respond, because she hasn't gotten that part yet. But everyone, I mean, I didn't see a discrepancy there. Kyle's like, I don't know, I disagree, and we're like, really? I don't know.
I am an inquisitive person. Like if what you're saying doesn't make sense to me, and I'm not wrapping my head around it, I am on it.
But then again, he could have got that from listening to the beginning of the show when I'm talking about, oh, we need a producer, and Kyle's fucking grilling me. Like, why? You know,
But like that's what
But
I mean.
he wasn't listening
Kyle,
to that.
no.
But Kyle being Kyle, he could listen to any show at any point. In any of the past like 5 years, however long you've been doing the show,
You really
Kyle-
think he went back and listened to our show? I don't think.
I'm saying,
No.
I'm saying
I don't think he would have come
I
on.
think
I'm saying this
I
to
don't think
say
he would have
that-
come on. I like Brian's point of view.
I'm saying this to disprove the theory because I'm saying if he had watched one, I don't think he did either.
I
He
think
would've
what
found
he
the same
took what
Kyle,
I was saying and how I was going about things,
and he nailed it.
and he nailed it.
Fucking
Like,
nailed it. Yeah.
so he found like he noticed he was talking about the relationship stuff, and he could tell I didn't give a fuck. But I cared about points A, B, and C.
I did.
I honed into points A, B, and C,
Yeah.
and that's what I asked about.
He picked up on subtle things that he delivered.
He
back
know
to you.
that, and I think that's what happened. He noticed that I found A, B, and C intriguing. I didn't care about D, E, and F.
You know what?
I
You know
took
what's funny,
D, E, and F, and I just wiped it off the table, and I concentrated on just the few things that I liked and that I knew about, and I went in and I talked to him about.
I have a theory. Then I have a theory.
I don't care about his coaching advice. I didn't care about any of that stuff.
Yeah.
I cared about his psychic abilities. I cared about his paranormal visions. I cared about only the
Cool stuff.
medium stuff of what he was talking about. I didn't care about the life coach bullshit that he was saying. I wanted to know how he talks to spirits. Is there an interpreter? Is there like how does he see it? Like
I want to hear more about Corbin's dream journal.
right?
Dream journals are tight. I wish I could do a dream journal. Those help you get to lucid dreaming states.
Yeah, I've been having a lot of weird dreams since my grandma passed.
I don't need a dream journal. I remember my dreams so.
You're so awesome, Kyle. I'm trying to live up to that, man. It's
I don't
hard.
either. I only remember. I never get to REM sleep.
Huh?
I never get to REM sleep, so I can never.
Oh, I get, and I feel like a repetitive nature. Like the last night that I was with her, over and over.
It takes me about 3 minutes to get to REM sleep.
Oh, yeah, it creeps me out. So I decided to write a dream journal. I also have one that I wrote my 5-year plan of where do I want to be, and a lot of things that I feel I'm putting my hand in that I'm not really finding joy or satisfaction out of, but I'm doing it just because of okay.
My sister just messaged me. She said he made observations about your mannerisms and your actions. He did not actually read you.
That's an
That is reading you.
that's kind of what that is though. But that's interesting opinion. I'm not going
He didn't get this. Somebody from the other realm didn't say like, "Hey,
Well,
Kyle is a fucking." He doesn't care what you think. His opinion is his opinion. You know what I mean? Like,
Well,
What do you want him to do? Come on here and be like, Kyle's a fucking asshole.
Yeah, or
Fuck
tell
that
you
Kyle
your
guy.
family
how
genealogy.
fucking cool would that have
Hey.
been? The spirits tell me that you're a fucking cocksucker. How fucking cool would that have been?
Oh my God, I got a message from the other side. No,
You're a fucking.
but like,
I
what
feel
I'm
a message
saying-
coming through. Hold on.
Like, how cool would that be? You know what the spirits tell me? You're a fucking cocksucker. Like, that'd be awesome.
He's like,
Yeah, but
I'm getting a spiritual sign. I'm going to write it down and tell him if you're right. And he writes it down, holds a piece of paper, just says, fuck you.
well, here's the thing.
Chuck used to do that. He used to have a what the fuck the crowd talking about in his sleep. Nubia does it too. She wakes me up and she goes, "You know what the fuck you were talking about in your sleep?" And I'm like, "No." She's like, "This is what you were saying." And I'm like, "No way." My mom used to do it too. I used to get up and be like, I used to tell her like recipes for apple pie and dumb
Yep.
shit like
I do the same thing, brother. My mom would be like, "You had a full conversation with me. You walked out of bed, had a full conversation with me, and you were sleeping."
yeah, that's how I have too. I
I-
talk about work a lot in my sleep.
I'm gonna get this out. Well, talking work, I feel that
You talk about the perfect blunt you rolled.
all the time. No,
My
that's good.
shirt, my mustache.
But
hair.
next time he's on, there's two ways of figuring out. One,
There you go, next time.
you just said.
We'll have
Well,
him on
I'm
again.
gonna tell y'all since Scott was, you're wrong. I'm out. Boom. If there were Who knows? The second book, whatever. Maybe Kyle could not fix. I don't want to paint this in a negative way, but some of those attributes work on, and then have him give a second reading to see what he's getting from now. You know what I mean? Or if he was on a second time, Kyle could ask what's one thing that he knows that only Kyle could answer. Because a lot of things, I'm sure. You know what I mean? I thought it was a pretty good reading, though. I'm not gonna. I was like he at first I was but as he kept going, I was like, oh, he is. We're there.
I thought you would have went for it, Corbin. I thought you would have went full on for it.
So what's funny? I'm just gonna share about psychics in general. I have a really weird thing about
It's very weird. It's very weird.
I understand. I want people's opinion and stuff, but I don't want to know what's going on. And people delving into me, I feel like they would know. I'm very anti-Final Destination type thing. And in my head, every time I get psychics, that's the perception I have. So it was interesting to learn about him, but also
you only made it 110 minutes in, Kyle.
Yeah, but that was interesting.
He was a cool dude,
and he nailed it.
Fucking nailed it. Yep.
He nailed
it.
He was awesome.
That was one of the best readings I've seen. And I've only seen.
But it's not hard to get that I'm an overbearing prick.
But you don't perceive yourself that way because you perceive yourself a different way.
Exactly. So it would be hard.
But I know I am. I just can't control it. I know I'm an overbearing prick.
But I get some of it. But where in that would he have got the feeling that you're an overbearing prick? Where in that would he have got the fact that you're willing to argue something to the point of submission? It doesn't matter what he was talking
about. I had an agenda. And I brought that agenda into our conversation.
Well, here's what's funny. So this is what I make. I mean, you're a lot better about that. I'm not going to go into this, but let's say, remember we were having our own private talk, right? A lot of the descriptions that we were talking about each other, that you were talking about one, I actually saw in you too. So it was weird in terms of the reflection of how we see ourselves.
It's like this,
how
though.
We see others.
So when you read a horoscope in the morning, so you wake up bright and early at say 7:15 a.m. At 7:26, you read your horoscope. I'm a Gemini. Today, super vague shit's going to happen. You spend the rest of the day trying to connect these dots. And I think so when he, and don't get me wrong, he might have nailed it. But so what happens is he says these vague things, you connect the dots. And you're finding, okay, he's right. Kyle does this. Kyle has done that once. Kyle has done that. Everybody has their story now, but
you do it more than once.
But okay, I could say, so if he would have said something close to that about Corbin, I would have said, you're right. Gotham Bad Gaslight, Star Wars. I could have taken those exact things and I could have pegged it to Corbin. I could have done it to you.
Okay.
Joker movie.
Here's what we're going to do. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
To prove whether he is real or whether his skills are legit or not. It is. We all heard him, right? We all heard him, his prediction for me, right?
What did you say to Corbin though? I think I missed that too.
Yeah, I didn't. Give me short and sweet predictions he gave for the rest of you guys.
You didn't miss it because I kept it real general, and so his answers were real general. What do I need to do? He did more life coach of Corbin. I didn't do anything specific. You know what I mean? I think he went specific with you. He went specific with Kyle. He went specific with Matt. But for me, it was what do I need to do to change things? I specifically didn't ask, was I going to meet anyone? I specifically didn't ask, what that person's going to be like. I didn't want direct answers. I
went for the jugular.
I was kind of nervous about it. So he gave me general, being more positive, not the same things Kyle heard, not looking at to what I can't get, but what I can. That normal life coach things, which I know. So that was me. I'm off the table. Then it was just Matt and Kyle.
Corbin's off the table.
Because all I said is, I can't even remember. I said, you've done Matt. You've read Corbin. What do you see when you see Kyle?
Yeah.
That's all I asked.
Fucking nailed you.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
But it's not hard because
he nailed you like your prom date in high school, bro.
But here's the
hard, fast, and to the point.
Is it the psychic's fault that it's not hard to know who you are? It's his job to tell people who they are. And
it's his job to read you. It's
easy. It's like some people read books and some people read books. He read you. However easy that was.
My problem is my heart is on my sleeve. I am a very easy person to read. You know when I'm mad. You know when I'm sad. You know when I have a point to make. Like, I don't hide any emotion that I have. I don't suppress it. I don't act like it's not happening. Everything is on my sleeve. Everybody can read me like a book. And it's one of my fatal flaws as a person. I'm very easy to read. I'm not a poker guy.
Mm.
And it's just the way I am.
I don't see anything wrong with that.
No.
When you're honest, honest all the time, and you're like that, you don't have to remember any lies. So
I feel the way I feel at that moment. It might change, but like I've always worn my heart on my sleeve, and there's just nothing I can do about it.
But like, here's the thing. I think the only difference in that, because you wear in your sleeve, I don't have a poker face. I'm pretty open. It's that your opinion, like I do it too, up to a point, is that you have a big heart. Your heart's on your sleeve. You have a very strong opinion, and you are compelled. Like, you can't stop yourself from pushing that.
You're telling me I have no self-control?
Well, listen, I'm not saying it at all, Kyle. No, but like in terms of you are gonna make sure that they get your opinion and steer the right way. I do up to a point, and then I'm like, okay, if it's certain things, I'm wild with passion. If not, I will say, hey, we'll agree to disagree, because we're not gonna.
That is one problem that I have. I can't read people. Like, I just disregard the way that they, like, if they zone out and shit, I just disregard all that. And that's something I'm actually like working on as a person.
Yeah, it's called
like
getting older, becoming a, you know.
It's like the face that Brian makes. It made me stop.
So, like I said, it is July 31st, 2020. All right. I will give it 1 year. July 31st.
We're gonna meet your snaggletooth
2021. Yeah,
5 children.
If I haven't met her yet, we'll know.
So what did he say?
He's gonna ride a motorcycle, and he's gonna be hugging her from behind. And if the bitch fell off, it's actually Matt.
Yeah.
If you could
Is
read
that what he said?
No. So I asked him if I was gonna meet somebody and get married again and have kids, and he said that I'm gonna meet someone who's rough around the edges. She's gonna have tattoos, and when I meet her, she might be wearing something on her head, like a hat or a scarf.
And she's gonna be kind of hard to read to like.
No, it's gonna be like she's gonna be so rough around the edges that it's gonna be hard to. But she's gonna have a good heart, and it's gonna be hard for me to be like, ooh, you know. And so Kyle went to fugly. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, but in the mass of my point, it's like
I will update everyone every week.
Now
be like,
not looking for that though. Like,
I will.
Now that picture.
I'll forget about this by tomorrow.
So now he's looking for a snaggletooth motorcycle nasty.
Not even close. Not even close. I'm not looking for any snaggletooth motorcycle riding anything. I will update every week. I'll be like, nope, not yet. Nope, not yet. Matt's psychic update of the week.
I feel you. I mean, yeah.
Just fucking hating, Kyle. That's all right.
I should have asked, do we see a popping in the future?
A what?
All that popping, do we see in the future?
Oh, yeah, his mic.
I'm sorry, Corbin. I totally thought that was you, but I think it was him. It is.
No, everyone. No, you're fine. It's good. I didn't even notice at first. I knew the popping, but I knew it wasn't me. I was muted half the time. I had my throat.
Well, because there was times where I would mute you and it would stop, and I was like, "It's fucking Corbin."
Yeah,
and that's why I said something, but it was his connection.
Yeah, I've been sitting on mute for the last like 30 minutes at one point, so I was like, "Nah, bro, that ain't me."
Though.
Huh?
Like, I'm totally gonna like.
The parts of the chat though that were killing me was Michael Stout. Oh, did he just go through an earthquake when he like moved around and moved his camera all over the place?
When Solo he was like, "So when I'm jerking off, my mom can see me." I was like,
yeah. Michael Stout says when the biker bars open on Arizona, Matt can go find her. Nah.
Dude, every time I say ugly ass bitch on a motorcycle and be like, that might be Matt's future so-and-so.
What was that that bar up on there on 35th? The Steel Horse Saloon just closed down, so you're not going there anytime soon.
I'll go to Sage and Sand.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was interesting.
I'll go to Carly's Bistro.
Also, was the cheering coming from him?
No, that's Kyle's kid.
Oh, okay.
That was Matt playing video games in the back.
Oh wow! I was like, what's going on? Cool.
No, you'll have to come to where Newsies is and fucking Meth Mouth.
Where Newsies is. Yep, that's right.
That's where you're gonna meet your biker bitch.
Probably. I'm just not into girls with tattoos, so that was interesting.
What?
But
Yeah,
the heart,
the
heart wants what the heart wants. It's gonna,
Yeah.
just like he was saying though, it's gonna look past all that.
Yep, I know. And usually I don't. Like, I'm
I
not.
hope she has like a tribal stone on her forehead or something. It's like this big fucking tattoo right here.
I hope she's got armpit hair, and then she's got a leg here and a leg here.
I like that. It doesn't really take a psychic to know you'll probably meet a girl with some kind of face coverings during a pandemic. Fucking nailed it. Case closed. Oh,
Dude,
man.
Awesome. She'll have a face mask on and a tribal stone on her forehead.
Fucking nailed that. Let's give that man a round of applause.
It's my tribal stone.
Let's give that person a round of applause because goddamn, fucking nailed it.
Everybody find this comic.
Like the chat wasn't too enamored with.
Grizzle Geek
with
says a lot of
his,
biker
stuff.
chicks have no teeth, so that's fun.
She could nub you.
We'll see. We'll see. Like I said, I was, and I told Kyle this ahead of time. I was intrigued by that because of the story of my mom. And all that's kind of intriguing because we still talk about that to this day. So it was intriguing to see what he said. And
What story is that?
what?
I didn't catch that story. Can you shorten it down?
Basically, my mom was told after my middle sister, she was told she couldn't have any more kids by a doctor. She said they told her you are medically unable to have any more kids. So she went to a psychic, an angel lady with her sister, and she said, I see you raising another kid. So and I was 16 when this happened, 15, 16. So that whole time she was like, I'm not raising your goddamn kid, Matt. You better fucking wear a condom. Whoever you're hooking up with, you better fucking wear a condom. And I'm not raising your goddamn kid. A few years later, boom, she got pregnant with my little sister. And that's the kid she was raising, not mine. That one.
I hope your future girlfriend wife has T-Rex arms.
I do too.
I like that shirt, Kyle. What shirt is that?
My ray gun shirt, dude.
Yeah.
Michael Stott, I hope she has a camp arm. Fuck all of you. Don't rain on my parade.
I can't do push-ups.
That's
Do you guys
Kyle.
want to see my Wookiees cookies that I just got?
That's Kyle being combative right there because the first thing he had to do is be negative and shit all over somebody else.
I got my Turkish fucking Darth Maul variant in the mail today.
Oh, you don't say. So this is from our Turkish buddies over in Turkey, Parallel Universe Comics.
I had to sign for it, so I had to go to the goddamn post office and fucking get it.
These guys are super, super second to none, and they've got a new variant out. It's a Hulk variant. And I'm very happy that they sent me these. We've got, here we go. The regular 181 variant.
Nice.
The X23 variant.
Even better.
The Hulk versus Weapon X variant, or Weapon whatever variant.
Dude, the X23 is still the best so far.
Maestro versus Weapon X variant with Red Hulk in the background.
Shit.
And then I got
Killing it.
some more Darth Maul black covers.
Nice.
I got another Darth Maul set.
I think I just got that today.
And another set of, this is the regular variant. It's the Turkish version of 181, and he did 4 variants with it. Yeah. So big shout out to our homies over in Turkey, Parallel Universe. This is how.
So did you have to sign for those too?
What's that? So he just put up the Hulk ones last week, I believe.
But did you have to sign for it?
No, I didn't have to sign for them.
I don't know why mine was. I had to sign for mine. I had to go. I got a.
Because you probably argued with them And they agree to disagree.
Whatever, dude.
Always fucking right. Jesus Christ. Don't you fucking.
This is pretty interesting. He also sent me these. Check these out. So this is the Hulk variant, the sketch cover variant. And I'm like, oh, that's weird. It's just a piece of paper, right?
Oh, shit. It's a blank and a blank.
That's pretty dope.
It's a blankety blank.
So you don't get dirty fingerprints all over it like I just did right there.
Well, that's what I was looking at my old guard number 1,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a fucking goddamn fingerprint right in the middle of the white cover.
Yep.
I do not.
Unfortunately, fingerprints
Kyle.
kill.
Do you want to run down Hot 10 before you
Yes.
get out of here, Brian?
For sure.
Brian's in it to the end of the show.
Let's see. I've got till what time is it?
9:40.
9:40.
I have got another 20 minutes before I have to leave, so perfect timing. Shout out to Jesse James Comics, who is helping out some friends tonight by letting them use his comic store to shoot a movie. So shout out to Jesse James Comics coming through once again.
To drive there.
What's that?
I am in no condition to drive there.
I can see that.
I didn't drink that much though.
Yeah, sure.
It was only like that much.
Uber.
All right.
Oh, that's been so hard to do anyway. Okay, I'll stop. But it's been hard. It's been hard to find Uber or Lyft. It's been hard for Lyft.
It really has, man. It's
And
like,
you know what?
it's like double the time.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you. Okay, real quick before we start. 2 days ago, I busted my tires pretty bad, like 2 of them, slashed on some glass. Driving from the park after I went for a run. Right, fine. It was like 11 at night. All the towing companies were like, all the 24 hours weren't open, and like the 2 that were had ridiculous rates to get home. So I was like, forget it. I got 1 to get home. I said I'll do a Lyft the next couple of days, get paid next week.
Mm-hmm.
I'll fix the tires, whatever. Went on a Lyft yesterday. I got off work at 4 yesterday. 4. What was yesterday's Thursday? Had an early day yesterday. Got off at 4. Fine.
Mm-hmm.
Set my Lyft. Driver's 15 minutes away. No problem. Driver gets about 7 minutes away. Cancels. Okay. Next one. 2 minutes away. Cancels like a second later. Okay. Next one, 6 minutes away. Cancels again. Fine. The next driver comes.
Yeah.
Says there, yes. Says, oh, I can't find you. Where the library's at, whatever. I send my address. No connection. I call them. They don't answer. I send a message. Fine. But then I guess they overrided it because on Lyft it says that your driver says that they're here. And you have 3 minutes before they cancel the ride and you're charged. I'm like, but I can't get charged when the driver's not here. So I reach back out to the driver, send a message. He reads it, but doesn't reply. I said, you're not here, sir. Like, I'm looking for you. You're not here. I'm not about to pay $20 for a ride. That's fine. I call him again. He doesn't answer. I call the service line or whatever. And then finally, as I'm calling the service line, I get the ding that my driver has canceled the ride. Fine. Like, I don't even care. I'm just glad you're gone because you tried to lie and say you were there when you weren't. Fine. A minute later, I get an email from Lyft that says that I have a Lyft health violation. And I went, what? And apparently, I got tagged by the driver who we never saw each other for not wearing a mask or acting in health accordances for Lyft drivers.
What a fuckface.
Exactly. We never saw each other, and I literally had a mask on. So, like,
Do you know who the driver was? Let's call his ass out right on.
well,
this show.
I remember being robbed. I don't know him. I literally was just connecting. I'm like, are you kidding? Like, what type of nonsense is that? And so now I'm worried. Like, I've never, like, Lyft sends violations. Am I going to get charged? Like, what does that mean? And apparently I got a thing on my app that said it was just a warning. I'm like, that's still kind of crazy. Finally, my driver comes and we had a language barrier. So I just was like, hey, just go home. Like, we didn't know like how to communicate effectively enough to have a good conversation so I could relay what happened.
So you're saying his name probably really wasn't Rob?
You don't need to have a good conversation. You just
The
sit there
guy
and
who
look
had
at
an
the
issue
phone
with
forever.
his name was Robert.
Oh.
The next driver wasn't that. The thing was Victor. But the point being, you're right. Like, that whole scenario was like, what is going on with, like, that was a crazy experience, not just with the lack of Lyft drivers and everything, but these violations and such. And bottom line, I'm not using Lyft.
And look at Brian, like, fucking call him out right here. Fuck this guy.
Yeah,
Call him
I
out
hate
right
people
now.
like that, dude. I can't stand that shit, man.
It was crazy.
Don't
I
try
was
to be
laughing at
shady.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what it felt like, to be honest with you. But thanks, guys, for letting me talk.
We try to work the system.
The Golden Age book this week is Red Seal Comics number 20. This a 5.5 sold this week for $1,100. The last known sale was in 2013, where an 8.5 sold for only $660. So a 5.5 sold for $1,100. Crazy cover. I mean, look how crazy that cover is. It's like, why is he pulling her using a magnet to pull her from her grave? Is she made of metal?
That is interesting. I like the red seal, and so that's pretty sick.
Yeah, the color just is beautiful on it, and I love the.
Do you think maybe that's their way
Skeletor.
of trying to show like attraction?
No, he's pulling her from her
art
grave.
form. Yeah.
Death.
What do magnets do?
That is the book.
It's the death magnet.
Okay.
It's the death magnet, I guess.
Magnet.
Yeah. All right. Let's see here. Next book is Grit from Scout Comics. This is Scout Comics is doing great stuff. This is a book about a guy taking out trolls, I guess. I'm not too sure, but another Scout comic that Ben writes, another Scout comic that is selling well just after release, $10 to $15 just after release. But there does seem to be more copies available than It Eats What Feeds It, which was on the list last week, I believe. And that one has stayed below $10. So just a nice little honorable mention from Scout Comics, who's doing dope ass shit. So I like Scout Comics. Number 10 this week is the Captain Marvel number 18. This is the first appearance of Lori L, which I believe is Captain Marvel's half sister. So it's selling for 10 to 15 out the box, and there's gonna probably be second and third prints of it. And you know what second and third prints are doing right now? They're going through the roof. So if you guys got any second or third prints of books right now, we can talk about that later. But some second and third prints are just ungodly, the amount of money they're getting. And you'll see that on this list. Number 9 is Batman from the Snyder Run, number 28. And this was a $5 book last week. The Tinian stated he was bringing back Bluebird. And this is her first appearance. So there is a combo pack variant, and I believe there is a steampunk variant of this too that you probably want to be on the lookout for. Let's see here. Number 8, Strange Academy number 1, the Humberto Ramos 1 in 25 variant. All covers of this book are still selling well. This one in particular has jumped from 75 to 85 to 125 plus this week. So yeah, this book has got a lot of hype on it, but it's got a lot of room to build. So this will be a
J. Scott Campbell cover.
Is there a J. Scott Campbell?
To Strange Academy 1?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like this one better than most of the ones I've seen. I don't think I've seen the J. Scott Campbell one, but I like a couple characters in here. I really like the Kid Dormammu character. I really like that character. I don't know much about him, but it's cool. It's a cool idea for a character. This is a beautiful book, and I because I don't pick up new books anymore, I didn't pick this one up. This is Jenny Frisson Beauty number 1, the Jenny Frisson variant. And this is
not a brand new book, though.
This is 2 weeks ago. This was a $15 to $20 book, and now it's selling for $45 to $60. So this book was out a couple months ago, I guess.
Years.
No.
Number 1.
Yeah,
No
Beauty's been out. That's years old. Yeah.
Let's look that up. Hold on.
Because I have the first issue. I don't have that cover, but I have the first issue of it.
Beauty number 1 came out years ago because we did comic reviews on it.
Mm-hmm.
Unless they've rebooted it and they've started it over from number 1. But Beauty number 1 has been out for at least 2016, 17.
Yeah, you're right. 2015, it looks like.
Yeah.
No. Hold on.
Because Jose and Matt all bought Beauty. We all got into that together.
Okay. Well, it's selling for a grip of money now. This is a Frisson copy that I never got.
Crazy concept, though.
Yeah, it is a good concept. Oh, I don't know. It's an okay concept. Something about where they have makeup that turns them into zombies or something.
It's you take this. You like inject yourself. You take this thing and it keeps Beauty, but there's a cost to it. And you can only have it for so long. It's It's a pretty cool concept.
This is a $60 book now, so if you have one, sell it or keep it, whatever. But it's a beautiful cover.
As I push my opinion.
Yeah. Number 6 is another variant from Peach Momoko. This book was on the list last week with all the SDCC stuff. We were thinking that some of those books were just going to start dropping like rocks, but this one gained another $50. It's a $150 to $200 book right now.
Her Spider-Man one is garbage.
The what?
The Spider-Man one?
Oh yeah, when she does hero covers, they're terrible.
But she gave Spider-Man this long neck.
Yeah, they're saying she can't draw necks.
Because it's like
she's like the female version of Rob Liefeld.
Exactly.
But yeah, because like her neck with Spider-Man, it's like, I guess if you looked at it in reality, it'd be like a 14-inch long neck.
Yeah.
Like it sticks out like almost like a giraffe type of thing. It's
Or that
really
other
weird.
one where he's going down web shooting and it looks like the web's coming out of his ass.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, in all actuality, that's kind of truthful.
Yeah.
That is where
Way
the
to
web's
push
at.
your opinion on me, Kyle.
Thank you.
Number 5 is Invincible number 1. God damn, I hate this book because I'll never own one.
Dudes, Brian.
Yeah. This is selling for ridiculous money. I think $1,635 is what sold for last week.
It's just because it's going to be a show now, right?
No, this book has always been very hard to come by. It's been
The recent spike.
It's not a recent spike. So this was
Yeah.
$1,300 a couple months ago. It was, in 2016, a 9.8 sold for $1,545, and now it's $1,635. So it stays around, the $1,300 to $1,500 range. But you're right, Kyle. There is, I think, 2 shows on the horizon, isn't there? They're talking about a live action, but there is a animation coming. So there might be a live action coming.
Most of the
Right.
voices for Invincible are ex-Walking Dead cast members.
Of course,
Almost
why
everyone
wouldn't
in
they
that
be?
show are ex-Walking Dead
Yeah.
cast members.
Yeah.
Well, the voices, voice
Yeah.
actors. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, this book is super hard to find. There wasn't very many copies of it to begin with. This was like before people were talking about Walking Dead. This is the book when you talked about Robert Kirkman that you talked about this book, and this book has always had a following. It's always been probably in my opinion, this has been his best written work.
Unless you were in the know, because the real, to use a Corbin, the real Robert Kirkman fans know that Battle Pope
Real ones now.
was the
Amen.
book to start talking about.
And
Amen.
those who don't think so, we can agree to disagree.
Amen. On to the
If you
second
disagree, I'll stick Kyle on you to tell you why you're wrong.
Spider-Gwen number 1, the 3rd print. Here's a perfect example. This book is selling for $180, I think, raw right now. It's the 3rd print of not even her first appearance. By the way, her first appearance is selling for like $1,600 and 9.8.
I have one.
Yeah, you need to sell it. Or hold on to it. This week,
Thank you for being so definitive.
Yeah.
$150 plus for this book, but it is a 3rd print. It's hard to find. There's very few copies of it released. The reason it's a 3rd print is because it says 3rd printing on it, but also the green. It's usually a blue cover, I think. Or the 2nd print's blue, and I can't remember. Anyways,
I want to say
What
it's
is the
red.
first print going for?
not this much, that's for sure.
Is it because there are so many of that first print?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, shout out to the Ben from Go
Hey, Kyle.
Collect. There's a new show coming on Flipside channel called Modern Playbook, and 2 new episodes have been released. And one of the episodes is Ben from Go Collect talking about these type of books, these late printings. And this is I think the reason why this book is shot up is because of that video. They put out that video last couple 3-4 days ago, and now these are selling for 150 plus, 140 plus on eBay. So
That's crazy.
yeah. There's a lot of crazy second prints. There's also the second print to Marvel Point 1, which is the first appearance of Kamala Khan, that's selling for like $900. the third print to that Venom book with the null appearance is selling for like, $8,000 and 9.8. It's just crazy. Second and third, fourth printings, they used to be the dollar bin fodder. Now they're, and rightfully so in my opinion, because there's less of them, obviously. And especially when you do a change to the cover where you have a different cover, you have a different color background, you have a, like an interior panel cover or something, that makes the book more wanted. And they're no longer, dollar bin fodder. So when we were collecting growing up, second and third printings, like nobody wanted them. You only wanted first printings. But
that's still ingrained in my mind.
Well,
recently it hasn't been, but like when I got back into comics and stuff, it was first print. Now it's like, ooh, I wouldn't mind having that third print or that fifth print.
Yeah. Just keep your eyes out. Thor number 5. This book is going crazy.
Everybody's kid wants that because all of a sudden they've been into Thor.
And this is basically, we talked about this when this book first popped up, how this series, when the series first popped up, how it's really similar to Immortal Hulk and Thanos when Donny Cates is writing Thanos. It's been the excitement has been created organically. It's grown with the book rather than just being an issue. People were talking about how well this book was written, issue 1, issue 2, and issue 5 is just going crazy. It was about a $40 book raw last week, and now it's up to $80 to $100 raw.
I'm putting mine up tonight.
And they're putting the whole run up.
The variant is selling for ungodly amounts. So if you have the Ribic variant, make sure you guys throw that in there. But that's just not the crazy part. Here's the crazy part. Number 2 is selling for $100 raw also, and it's number 2 on our list this week. Thor number 2. This is what a lot of people are saying is the cameo of Black Winter, and it also has a Strange Academy preview in it. There's also a beautiful variant for this, but this book is also selling for $100 raw right now. So throw this book up if you got it. And this is a great story. I mean, we talked about the storyline when it first came out on the show about how cool it was. I'm not a huge fan of Donny Cates, but you can't say he's doing things wrong. I mean, he's bringing excitement. Yeah.
Except that Comic-Con segment.
Yeah. And number 1 is Raphael, the one shot. Yeah, this thing is going crazy. 9.6s are going for $650, where they were about $300 at the beginning of the year. 9.4s are selling. 9.4s are selling for $400 when they were about $250 at the beginning of the year. Record high sales last week. Also, a record high 9.8 sold for this week at $1,600. Turtle keys are hot, and this is definitely qualifies as a key, being the first Casey Jones, but it's super hard to get in high grade as it's a bigger, if you guys remember, it's a magazine sized book, black cover that is super hard to get in high grade. But for $1,600 and a 9.8 sold for this week is crazy.
I got mine from John for $1.
Yep. This used to be in comic stores. You could find this in bins all the time in comic stores.
I bought that when I bought all my turtle books from John.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Do you think it's the Last Ronin stuff that's driving all this turtle craze?
I think people just love turtles.
I think he is the Last Ronin.
Raphael is the Last Ronin.
It has not been confirmed yet who it is.
Well, I think it's.
Didn't they also talk about him in that Christmas book?
That's Michelangelo.
Is it Michelangelo? It's not. No, Michelangelo is in the Christmas book, but not the Last Ronin part.
So I think that Michelangelo is going to be the Last Ronin. I think I think Raphael is too obvious. Leonardo would make sense because he's a leader, but I think Michelangelo would be the better story.
I will show you this since we're talking about it. I think we talked about the news that in that Christmas variant that they talk about the Last Ronin in that. Mm-hmm. A lot of people didn't know that, but they definitely talk about the Last Ronin in that, and they show a picture of him and everything. But here's a crazy part. So over in comicbookinvest.com, if you go to the True First section, which is written by Topher, he found a book. This book, which I think I sold probably 10 of them to Chad last week, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Adventures number 7. And in this book, there's an actual picture where this cow in this book takes them to a vision of the future. And supposedly that's the last Ronin future. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
But that's just speculation. That's just reaching
It's
speculation.
all speculation.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
all speculation. All of it's speculation. But it makes sense because this is the book that's bringing Laird and Eastman back together. So they were probably talking about doing it last then. They put it in 2 books, it looks like. The idea of it in 2 books.
Well, yeah, because it's my understanding that they've been working on this for years, since like the early days of Turtles.
Yeah. The
So-
Christmas special was the early days of Turtles. So,
Yeah. I believe it.
as a
But
matter of fact,
I like how they're keeping you guessing because they haven't given you a definitive shot of the last Ronin yet. He's the cover. He's got all their weapons.
I think it's going to be someone existing. I don't think they'd bring someone brand new just to make
no, absolutely not. It's going to be one of them.
one of the original.
They've
You
got
a 25% chance.
they've got a cover where like it's the last Ronin character busting out of Donatello's grave. They've got different covers that are playing around with it. So
this is the book that I was talking about. This is that Michelangelo Christmas special. This is the one where they show, I'm sure you guys have seen the pictures. You can go find them. There's pictures of the panels where it shows the last Ronin and, the timeline and all that stuff. So go check this out. It's a tough book to find. There is a 9.8 available on eBay for an ungodly price. And
Brian's.
I think I know whose that is. I upped it by $500 when the news came out.
Oh, wow.
Why not, right? Listen, I'm not pumping and dumping. I had no idea about it, but I all of a sudden I get like 5 offers for $100 on the thing. I'm like, why the hell is people offering so much? Well, not so much. I had it up there for like $575 and they're offering $100. And I'm like, why are people all of a sudden offering on this? And sure enough, I looked it up and that's why.
So you made it 1,000?
I put it up for like 9 something. It's signed and sketched and it's a 9.8. Beautiful copy.
No.
And that's the reason I bought this one, because I bought this one because I was like, you know what? I'm probably going to end up selling that one. And I really like this book. And I really like the fact that this is when, remember, Kyle, that we got pissed at the Amazing Comic-Con guys. And they're like, we're so sorry. Let me give you some free tickets. And we went and got books signed by Eastman. So that's the only reason why I bought this one, because it's also signed and sketched. And my other one's signed and sketched. And I really like that book. So I said, well, if I'm going to finally sell that book, I probably need to buy one. And this thing's in beautiful condition, and I got it for super cheap. So,
You should give it away on the show right now.
Well, no, I'm not Mighty Mel V.
I started stammering.
Mighty Mel V's given away, I think, $2,000 in books over the last 3 weeks.
It's insane.
Yeah, it's fucking nuts. And big shout out, if you guys aren't watching Mighty Mel V, big shout out to Mighty Mel V YouTube channel. The guy is trying to bring something back in the comics community that is sorely needed, and that is community aspect and pay it forward.
Totally jump over there when you're done here.
As a matter of fact, if you guys want to go jump on, he's going to be filming tonight. So go let him know you're in the chat, and he'll most likely say come on the show. So that's just how Drunken Chat Son is. It's a lot of fun.
I might have to do that because it'll be pretty fun to be on.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's nuts. So, but you never know with some of these books, and like Matt said, it is speculation. So everything is speculation in this game nowadays.
I have that book, $100 solo.
But have you guys gotten anything this week? Anything interesting?
I got the like I said, I got the Turkish variant. It's in my car. I haven't gotten it out yet. Since I had to go stand in the goddamn line for the fucking. Since it was registered mail to sign for, I had to stand in line at the fucking mail for it. He was kind of cool. Like, it was weird because like the dude from Turkey kind of like he messaged me and he's like, "Hey, I just got a message that you weren't home," or the message was really weird how he worded it, and I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Let me bring it up.
He said, "Hello, my friend." You were not home when they rang your bell.
Something actually like that.
I left you a nice shot of my junk on your camera.
That's stupid. He said, your tracking notification said they couldn't find your home. Just wanted to give you a heads up in case you didn't see any notice. And I was like, what the fuck do you mean they couldn't find my home?
Yeah, that's weird.
I was like, what does that mean? And then I went out to my mailbox and I was like, oh, no problem. Okay, I understand. They didn't come to my door. They just left a notice. And then he was like, I guess courier companies are the same all over the world.
He's a really good guy.
He was
They
awesome.
contact you. Big shout out to Parallel Universe.
But I was like, what the fuck does he mean he can't find my home?
Yeah.
You're trying to say I have no home? Get in your home.
Big shout out to Chuck. Chuck, how do you guys put on socks? Do you guys go sock, then shoe, or do you go sock, shoe?
Sock, shoe.
No, sock,
shoe.
I go
Sock,
shoe.
shoe.
And then Chuck said the same thing you did, Kyle. He's like, dude, my socks never touch the ground. I was like, that's pretty smart. But then I'm like, who fucking cares? I go sock, shoe also.
Why the fuck would you put both socks on? It's like, I don't know. It's weird.
I got another one for you. I do something else. I put my belt on before I put my shorts or pants on.
I've done that a couple times. I usually do the opposite, but I've done that a couple times.
I do not do that.
And, everyone's different. That's awesome.
Everybody's different, brother.
The belt goes on, or the pants go on, and then the belt goes on.
It can work that way for sure.
Because if I put the belt on, that's extra work. I don't know. It just seems weird. It's like threading the needle before you need to do it. I don't know.
I feel you.
But sock, shoe. Why would you put both socks on and then? I guess it's the same either way. What the fuck?
Look at you. You growing. Look at that.
Dude, the psychic has helped me, man. I'm thinking outside of my box.
Artie will be proud. Exactly. Look at. I'm telling you, this is a learning moment. I'm happy for it. I'm kidding.
Growing as a person.
But I'm also hungry. So. Oh man. All right then.
That's weird though. I never actually thought about that.
I only thought about it when Chuck brought it up.
I put your sock on, then I put my shoe on, then I put my sock on, then I put my shoe on.
Life skills. Left foot or right foot first? Yeah.
Right foot, left foot. I do right foot, left, right foot, right shoe, left foot, left shoe.
Let me ask you this. Do you untie your shoes or do you just slip them on and off?
Fuck tying and untying. That's
yeah,
fucking
slip them on and off.
Yep, same.
Stupid. Only stupid people tie their shoes.
Well, it depends. What are you doing? Are you going hiking? Then you got to tie them. Right?
Yeah.
If you're going hiking, you got to tie them.
I'm sure most people do, but I'm lazy and I just like to put my shoes on. And I like to slip my shoes off.
Yeah.
That's it. Fuck all the other shit. What's the easiest way to do this?
All right, gents. I will talk to you later. And
enjoy filming your movie, sir.
All right, guys.
Take care.
Hit me up tomorrow so I can bring it. Never mind.
Corbin, your mic's way up there and nobody can hear you.
Other shit's more important.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got it. I'm sorry. I got one foot off the door.
Let's finish the show up though. But so let's go. Comic-Con from home, massive failure.
Of course, we knew that, or I knew that. See, this is another where the psychic was right. You're right. I said it was going to be a failure. Nobody else thought it was.
You brought that negative energy,
and now I'm right. So
negative energy.
Your two biggest panels of Comic-Con from home were Vikings and New Mutants, and then there was a massive fall off on views, and it was followed by the Walking Dead panels, and that was it.
It was just like we were talking about, though. You just when you're at Comic-Con, there's this feeling, there's this vibe, there's this excitement, and you didn't get that sitting at home in your living room because there's just something about being at Comic-Con that's just so much fun, and you didn't get that at Comic-Con at home.
And that was one of the things you said, that Comic-Con from home was a true success for the old school comic book fan who liked to go to conventions just for old school panels, but for the new school fan that likes to go for camaraderie, seeing cosplay, and taking advantage of the full con experience, it was a massive failure.
I agree.
I don't even think that
it was the best that they could with the situation, but when Marvel, DC, and others pull out, that kind of makes it hard when they're the big two in comics.
Pulling out.
There you go. But that, honestly, I mean, they already had the odds stacked against them. I am glad that they tried. It didn't work out, but I think a lot of it also came with a lot of the big pounds that they're going to have. Everyone's going to do independently, which I think is the bigger story because it weakens the overall product in general. There's not enough Marvel news for a whole Marvel con. They're great in segments as part of the show. Same with DC, and we'll see that this year. But I think that when you have those two out and everything else is on virtual, San Diego was already at a disadvantage. It didn't help that they had everything pre-recorded with a little fan interaction, or they didn't ask for fan interaction first and then, answer the questions. They could have done something better there, but they were already starting behind the 8 ball, so I'm not going to give them total just rake over the coals.
A lot of the problem, too, was there wasn't a lot of news coming out. Usually there's huge movie announcements. There's huge panels going on. And if they would have had these panels with like when they do the Star Wars panels where everybody's up there, that might have been a little bit different, but they didn't have those blockbuster Hall H crazy excitement. They didn't do that. Maybe if they would have done those Hall H things, maybe we would have been more excited, but we didn't get that. They didn't give us that. We did. We got the New Mutants trailer, but we didn't get those cool panels that Hall H brings us. Like we didn't get the whole orchestra playing Star Wars music and screwing Kevin Smith.
We were there for that.
Yeah, but you didn't get that at home, and I think that's where the lackluster is of Comic-Con. For announcement wise, it didn't really we got a bland non-descriptive Donnie Cates. We didn't get this cool panel that we would have gotten at Comic-Con.
Yeah. I mean, you got your Bill and Ted stuff, you got, Vikings, you got the normal Comic-Con stuff, but you're right, it wasn't the same. Even like Kevin Smith's panel wasn't.
I think it's getting overrated.
Because before, when they would have done Bill and Ted, Keanu Reeves would have been there. Everybody would have been there, and it would have been this big drop. But it wasn't that. You're
seeing him in person, and it's bigger because you're seeing him in person rather on your computer screen like you normally do.
Yeah, it didn't have that same. It didn't have the same vibe.
Yeah, I feel it 100%. Go ahead.
I was just saying, like I said before, there's just something cool about seeing that leaked footage of everybody sitting up on a stage.
Yeah, but I mean, automatically, that's what I'm saying. They were behind the 8 ball from then. Were they not going to do just nothing at all? They couldn't do it, so they had no choice. You know what I mean? I get you though. You're right. They could have made it better, but they worked with what they had. It just didn't work out.
They didn't have the full cast of Bill and Ted up there talking about it.
I mean, that's true. And for some of that, I don't know if that was whether they, getting time or whatever the case may be, but I don't know how much to put on them on that. But I agree with you completely. Bottom line, it didn't come up to stuff. I was excited because I'm glad they had something. You know what I mean? We wanted something. I'd rather have had something to talk about, something to have. The problem is that it just wasn't as much as we were expecting. But, I don't know. Hopefully they do it next year and just make improvements. I want them to take that stance on it than the latter of, it sucks, we'll never do this again, because there's an actual way to improve upon it. It didn't work out.
Is Hall H should be live. The people who get to go in there and watch it get to watch it, but we get to see it live. Then you get that feeling because they're sitting up there, and or bring it out 20 minutes later or an hour later or something, you know what I mean? Yeah. But you get the filmed experience of it, but you get the applauding, and you get the woohoos, and you get the excitement, and you just didn't get that.
I feel that. It's as official as it can be without being official. Hailee Steinfeld is going to officially be announced as Kate Bishop for the Hawkeye series.
Wait.
Yeah.
Start all that again and say it the way you just said it.
It's
Officially, unofficially, officially,
yes, dude.
officially
Because
for what?
it has not been officially announced, but there are sites that are saying it's official. So it's like that, you know, the whole Robert Pattinson thing. He's Batman. He's not Batman. He might be Batman. No, he's Batman. So it's like one site saying it's official, another site saying that she's the front runner. It's not official yet. She hasn't signed a contract. And then another site is saying that it's as official as it can be without putting pen to paper.
So it's not as official as a referee's whistle.
Right. Correct. There you go.
But it's official.
She's gonna play the Kate Bishop Hawkeye. So that's cool. It was announced that Kevin Smith is going to be making an animated Green Hornet movie based off of the Kato's daughter. So it's going to be like the next generation type thing.
I'm more excited about his horror movie.
Oh, Killjoy was here, I think it is called.
Yeah, dude.
I think it looks like shit. I'm a huge Kevin Smith fan, and I think it looks like shit.
But like I said in the chat that we were talking about it, I think what it's doing is it's capturing that B movie, that B horror movie awesomeness.
Absolutely.
And I think that's like, if you are not a fan of like B horror movies, yes, it looks like garbage. But if you're a fan of the Toxic Avenger and Army of Darkness and Killer Clowns from Outer Space and all, you know, Leprechaun, these cheesy B movie, like, it doesn't look cool. But to me, when I was watching it, like, I was like, okay, it has the awesome, cheesy, old school B horror movie vibe to it. And I think that's what makes it awesome. And I think that's what people might be missing.
There's a shot in the trailer where he cuts someone's head off, and it looks so bad that's what took me out of it.
That's the awesomeness of it,
I guess.
But like, that's the awesomeness of those old B horror movies is the cheesiness of it, though. Like, yes, you're not getting these great special effects, but you're getting this old school, like, extra blood, cheesy looking cutoff. Like, that's awesome. Like, to me, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Awesome. Like, I love it. Like the Toxic Avenger. Did you guys like the Toxic Avenger?
Yeah.
But that's like B horror movie written all over. That's the same cheesiness of like that scene. I think what happens is like you may have like this higher expectation of what you want from Kevin Smith. Just like the psychic was saying, you have this expectation and it's killing it. But if
it's Kevin Smith. Is there really a such thing as expectation when you put it next to his name?
I think he went exactly for the awesome, cheesy horror movie. And I think he played around with it with the fucking, what was it? The other one with his daughter in it, where she was at the convenience store.
Yoga hosers. I
think he had a vibe for it in Yoga Hosers. You've seen aspects of it, but I think he went 80s cheese. I think that's what he was going for. I could be wrong, but that's
I think it's 100. Well, that's what he said. It's like during his penalty, he was like, I wanted to shoot it like it's one of those Saturday night, late night horror films. And that's exactly
so. That's what to me. That's what it made it. I was like, "Holy fuck! This thing is going to be so awesome because of that."
Yeah.
And you, on the other hand, were like, because of that, I don't really like. It doesn't appeal to me.
Yeah.
It's just a different. I guess it's just a different. Like I seen Invention, I was like, cheesy B horror movie. I love you once again, Kevin Smith. You've done it. You're doing it. It's awesome. Like, and I think that's what I liked about Yoga Hosers too, though.
Yeah,
is it had that cheese to it, like that not real cheese that you don't see in movies anymore.
Yeah, I'll give you that. He did talk a little bit about his He-Man series in Netflix during his that's going to Netflix during his panel, and all that, and that Twilight of the Mallrats is still in the process, the Mallrats sequel, so we'll see what's going on with that.
Dude, just the fact that he's making a cheesy B horror movie, dude, I applaud you, Kevin Smith. I love it.
It's come out that Kevin Feige was more involved with the original X-Men movies as one thought, as it has come out that he was in charge of trying to wrangle Bryan Singer during the filming of those movies.
What the fuck was I watching? Oh, House. Do you remember the show House?
Yeah.
Did you know Bryan Singer directed like a shitload of those?
No, I didn't.
So I was watching a House marathon on the E channel, and they did the first it was like 3 days long, and my TV has never been on E that much as it has. And I was watching, I was like, Bryan Singer directed these? He fucking killed it. Why doesn't he do that awesomeness other places?
Because he's too busy being an alleged sexual predator.
But I was like, there's no way someone else has the name Bryan Singer that's a director.
Yeah.
But he directed a shitload of those episodes of House. I just thought that was interesting.
Well, apparently the allegations against him are making the rounds, and they're saying that he
Again?
actually used to, he actually used to invite people to the people he was grooming to the sets of the movies. So his allegations are flying around there again.
It was Bryan Singer.
Scott Snyder said he's going to move away from DC in 2021 and do less superhero stuff and do more realistic stuff, more stuff like he does with the Witches and American Vampire. Less superheroes, more.
That's way more
stuff.
realistic.
Well, I'm just saying, I couldn't figure out a way to put it, other than superheroes. But he's moving away superheroes and going in a different direction to focus on more things like American Vampire or Witches, things like that.
So more realistic.
Yeah, more realistic, huh? And Psychic fucking nailed you.
Nailed
him,
I'm
Corbin.
listening on what is different. I've been here the entire time. It's so easy to read. You think?
It's not like I'm not pushing my opinion, but I'm like, you said realistic, and then he said American Vampire.
I know. I couldn't think of another way to put it.
It's not like I'm saying like my opinion's right, but it's just funny that it's more realistic, like how real American Vampire was.
A different genre.
It's all right.
Yes, he's gonna go
different genre. Thank you, Corbin.
More, not the superhero genre.
Yes.
More realistic.
Way to have my back, Corbin. Thanks for intellectually putting that and not berating me down.
Erica, she missed the whole thing with our psychic.
Oh, she just come in the chat? She did.
Just popped in.
She missed everything with the psychic. It was amazing.
She missed our psychic reading. She missed. Yep. Oh my God! But oh well.
Whoa! I had my YouTube off. Solo Wookie, hit me up in Facebook, dog.
No.
But honestly, actually, no. He Solo Wookie hit me up.
No.
Also, hey Erica. No, he did. I had my YouTube chat off, and so I didn't see it. But also, actually, nah, man, I'm at the pass only because I'll tell him. He made a great deal on some wizard books, but I'll tell him
off here.
Exactly.
Welcome, Erica. Sorry you missed our psychic reading, but let's transition into a little bit of odd news.
Tonight, the Six Dad World Prime Time Special with people just like you, only more pathetic.
It's a bit nutty.
You're crazy, man. You're crazy.
Oh, it's funky, man. Woo!
So, possible UFO sighting in Long Beach, California, as a person on a cell phone catches a flying saucer speeding through over Long Beach. It was such big news, it was even on TMZ. So, and the government has come out and pretty much said aliens exist. So, aliens.
Cool.
Aliens.
How can we be in this universe?
So, Tom DeLonge isn't as crazy and coked out as everyone thinks he is. Aliens.
But he is.
Aliens.
Kind of cool though. Like, I just love it that if this was a year ago and our government would have said there's aliens, we would have shit ourselves.
Yep.
Now we're like, what the shit that's happening this year? I can accept that.
So if you're playing 2020 bingo and you have July for aliens, you're a fucking winner, man. That's it.
I think it would go more for August.
Nah, July aliens.
July's they now said that shit's over. This shit's over.
Aliens. It's still the 31st. It's still July. Aliens.
July 31st is a lot closer to August 1st than it is to July 1st.
Okay,
Sure.
Kyle.
I'm not saying.
Fucking nailed it again. Stamp of approval again.
Yep.
I'm just saying.
Of course.
And our last little piece of odd news. Elon Musk was rumored to have an affair with Johnny Depp's ex, Amber Heard. He has come out and said that is false, and he challenged Johnny Depp to a cage fight.
That'd be awesome. I would love to sit there and announce that and like do play-by-plays of fucking
Johnny Depp and Elon Musk in a fucking cage fight.
Because I just pictured Johnny Depp just going, get away from me, Elon. Get away from me.
Nah, dude, I think he knocks him out.
I don't picture him going up and be like, what's up, bitch?
No, dude, I think he's that type of dude who's gonna do like one of those running kicks off the cage where he like runs up a cage and then just spin kicks Elon Musk right in the face. I think that's what Johnny Depp's gonna do. Johnny Depp is gonna just knock socks off. Corbin, where'd you go?
Right here. What happened?
Oh,
Oh, I'm messaging chat, so if my screen went dark.
yeah, I did.
Oh, you're funny. Wow. I thought. Wow.
It wasn't even meant like that.
What are you getting at?
When I went
Yeah,
from,
what are you
like,
getting at?
Are you trying? What are you
No,
getting
no.
at?
What am I getting? Don't even
Yeah,
try to
what are you
turn on me.
getting at?
But
Your
turned
screen
on
went
you.
completely black. Yeah.
Wow.
Because
What
I'm
are you
messing.
getting
I
at?
was. The screen look is gonna happen again. 1 second. You see me? I'm there. Right? I turn back. You can't see. Whatever. The point being, it doesn't matter. The point being, when I turned the light, I was like, I know. I bet one of them. They better not say, "Well, I can't see you," and it didn't happen. It didn't happen. And then it happened, and because in my head we'd already went past it, I didn't expect it. Y'all were funny.
Erica says she's got $100 on Elon Musk.
Oh, dude, all day long. He's going to knock the shit out of Johnny Depp. Get away from me, Elon. Get away from me. Like,
Dang it.
Elon, we need to talk about this.
I don't think so. I think Johnny Depp just runs up the cage
I
and
also agree.
spin kicks him.
We're gonna knock the dude out. What Elon must be doing? Come on now. No.
Johnny
Ninja
got
kick,
knocked
ninja kick the damn
fuck
rabbit.
out. You got knocked the fuck out. I don't know, man. Elon Musk is a fucking he's a bold motherfucker right there, and Johnny Depp's a little person.
Where is he bold? On Twitter? On social media? How do we know he's bold exactly? Just asking.
He's just more of a to the point guy. Like
On social media?
No, interviews, social media, the way he does things. Johnny Depp is more of an artistic, like free-flowing guy, and Elon Musk is a more like, you could tell his logic is very like honed in. Like he's a very logical person. Like Johnny Depp doesn't have that to him.
Okay, so you're basically saying the media perception of both of them is different, and because of that, that will translate to their fighting abilities as well. Because,
Yes.
forgive me if I don't say. Okay, we can agree.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't picture Johnny Depp being like, "Come on, motherfucker."
Well, I don't picture Elon Musk doing that either. I mean, talking big game in front of a
I picture Elon Musk. He, to the point, it's very logical. He knows he's studied what he's going to do.
So
his game plan is very precise, and he walks in and he's going to fuck up Johnny Depp.
he's going to logically get his ass kicked. I like that.
Yeah, I think Elon Musk.
Sir.
Elon Musk is a thinker. He's
So
not
he'll
a
tell you,
fighter.
he'll give you a whole full dissertation on how it happened. So I was not
No,
aware.
no, that's not what I said. I just said the way he's going to go about it is going to be a lot more logical than the way Johnny Depp would do it.
But we have no. It's an opinion. I understand. Okay.
Hey, everybody! It's like Mike Tyson said. Everyone has a game plan until they get punched in the mouth. Yeah,
That's the truth, though. I like to see this.
he can have all his strategy and thinking that he wants, but once Johnny Depp punches him in the mouth, all that's out the window.
But that's not. He's
Johnny
not
Depp would be like,
he got beat up too much by Amber.
remember I was Edward Scissorhands?
Well, he did get his ass kicked by his girlfriend. That's right.
So I mean,
God
we'll never
damn
see it.
God damn it. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I had to be even.
Just, I don't know, man. I just think Elon Musk is a mother. He's not a dude to fuck around with. Johnny Depp can slap around a little bit.
Okay.
Well, okay, what makes you think the opposite?
There is nothing to be ashamed of by getting your ass kicked by your girlfriend, all right?
Well, here's the thing. I just think that the same argument that you're using in place of Elon Musk, one can use for Johnny. I'm assuming that Johnny can, just because I was thinking his acting, he's actually had experience. There's nothing to prove that Elon Musk has, except, oh, he's good in interviews, and, oh, you know, he's very straight to the point. Like, I'm not saying that it couldn't happen, because it's purely a hypothetical. I mean, it's not like it's going to happen, but, like, the same argument that you can use for why Elon Musk could win, you can also use for why Johnny Depp could, because there's no experience for either on any of it.
Erica says, can Johnny Depp fight, though? Because Amber Heard demolished him.
Well, to be fair, in Amber's history, she's demolished a lot of her exes. So the question is, Amber can fight and maybe no one else can, because she's done this before, and I think for the previous girlfriend. She has a history of this. So I think that says more about Amber than it does about Johnny, only because Amber's this is a trend for her. So, again, I don't know. I'm not saying that Johnny can or can't, but Elon Musk could have got his ass kicked by Amber, too. We'll never know, because according to Elon, it never happened.
Elon Musk would knock her the fuck out.
But we don't know that. He might just be saying that they were never together because he was together with her and she knocked him out. And out of shame, that whole thing never happened. We don't know. I can go down this weird rabbit hole.
She right-crossed that motherfucker and knocked him stupid, so he was like, nah, I'm good. I don't want to talk about her.
I'm just saying. Just saying. It's like, yeah, it never happened.
Johnny Depp goes in with feeling. Elon Musk goes in with a game plan.
We know we need to do. Anyone that Amber Heard's ever dated, we just need them all to have one cage match, because we need to see who's the best fighter to have been beaten up by Amber.
Kyle, you've seen that movie Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates, right?
Yeah.
At the very end, when Adam DeMamp's character is screwing the chick and she's like humping him standing up in the stables, that's what it's like. Fucking Amber Heard knocked out Elon Musk and then she fucked him, and that's why he doesn't want to fuck him. Then he became the woman in that relationship, so he doesn't want to talk about it. He just wants to go right to cage fighting.
I'll give my manhood, Johnny. Yeah. I'm gonna fight you instead.
Damn.
Amber Heard hits like a man, so he wants someone that's gonna hit like a woman. That's why he challenged Johnny Depp to a fight.
Oh my gosh.
That's why we need a producer to slide in those funny little jokes.
See, Cosmo doesn't let that go. He's on it. Right? He's on it. It says, all right, John, I'm hungry, man.
Right. Have a producer position open. If anybody would like, it's open Friday nights from 7:30 to 11 o'clock Arizona.
That's right.
Time.
Just about.
We need somebody to be a producer type.
Hey, we do. Joe Rogan can have someone. I need.
Matt.
Yeah, why can't we?
I feel it.
I nominate Michael Stout.
Erica says, y'all are right. All my money is on Amber Heard now.
Yeah, she's going to fuck both of them up.
For real.
She'll have a bald spot right here, but she'll be like,
yeah.
What now, motherfuckers?
You can see her getting Amber. Amber, no. No. Get my Tesla out of there. Get my Tesla all the way out.
That's awesome.
All right. Well, you guys got anything else you want to talk about this week?
Glory holes.
What, Kyle?
Glory holes.
Glory holes? What about them?
And how awesome Canada is.
Why? What did Canada do with glory holes?
Their CDC said it's all right to have glory holes.
Oh, okay. I did not read that.
No?
No, I did not read that.
It's in their CDC things for safe sex practices with the coronavirus. Use glory holes.
Oh, wow.
All right.
So you know what, CDC of Canada? I salute you.
Of Canada.
That's our sign off.
The CDC of Canada.
You and your bacon, I salute.
So support your local libraries, ladies and gentlemen. Please.
Yeah.
And thank you.
If you guys haven't done so yet, I can't recommend Umbrella Academy season 2 enough. Season 2 has been so good. I'm about to finish it. I'm on episode 10.
Oh, you mean instead of working, you got to watch it all day?
Umbrella Academy. I had it on in the background, but it's very, very good.
Y'all still work from home?
Yeah.
What makes it so good?
Lucky.
It's better than the first season, man.
What makes it so much better?
The soundtrack in it is fucking amazing for one.
That's it? Just songs?
Yeah. But it's good. If you're enjoying it, let me know.
You haven't even made a case for why it's so good.
If you liked season 1, you're gonna like season 2. I don't want to spoil it.
Why? Though you can
Because you're seeing the characters in different places.
Elon Musk and explain it.
You're
to
seeing
us
the
how
characters in different places. You're seeing them grow. You're seeing what happened to the events of the first season when they went back in time. They're all caught in the 60s, so they're dealing with civil rights issues. They're dealing with the assassination of John F. Kennedy plays a big role in this season.
I'm gonna try something.
So
I went back to the 60s. They weren't
Yeah.
even born yet.
yeah, I know they went back in
They
time.
travel through time.
Yeah,
How do they travel through time?
didn't you watch season 1?
Yeah, but that was a long time ago.
Number 5 takes them back in time, teleports them back in time when Viola, the white violin, is having a meltdown and brings about the apocalypse because she destroys the moon and the asteroid comes down to Earth.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah, suck it.
Do they see Jack O'Halloran?
They don't.
Can y'all see me?
It just comes. No, I
I don't
can't see you,
Corbin.
Not at all.
No.
Not even a little bit.
Black screen. I just want to see what it looked like.
Wow.
But
I just thought I'd check it out since we're just talking about.
Rude.
Oh wow, it's crazy. Wow. Look at that. I saw on YouTube a second ago. Okay, cool. Gotta do that.
Rude, and I don't appreciate that.
I'm sorry.
all right, y'all. Well, I want to thank everyone for coming out tonight and hanging out in the chat. I want to thank again our special guest Artie Hoffman for sitting in with us and doing a psychic reading of all of us. Fucking nailed Kyle.
Getting me totally wrong.
Nailed Kyle.
He nailed
I've
Kyle.
never seen it better.
Said some interesting things for me. We'll see what happens. I'll keep everyone updated if you care.
Matt
if not, I
gonna
won't.
Find love. Love's gonna find Matt.
Yeah. Next week we're gonna have M. Dwight Turner on joining us for an interview, so that should be another good interview. But guys, if this is your first time finding us on YouTube, please make sure to hit that like and subscribe button if you had a good time. Turn those notification bells on so you're notified when we go live every Friday night, 7:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. If you're listening to this back on Monday, please make sure to download, review, and subscribe to the podcast. It helps us so much in the podcast standings. And guys, for this week's our big shout out, make sure to check out Couch Crunchers tomorrow night, 7:00 p.m. right here on YouTube. Make sure to check out Tales from the Flip Side Monday nights. Make sure to check out the podcast. Make sure to check out Grizzle Geek, Comic Exposure, all the comic book podcasts or other podcasts. That
Jay's new podcast coming out soon.
Oh, there you go. Breaking news. Kyle and Jay are going to have a new podcast.
Tales from the Fringe Side.
There you go.
Just joking. That's not what it's called at all.
But awesome stuff, guys. But yeah, so for this week's episode of the Absolute Geek Podcast, I'm Matt.
I am Kyle.
And I am Corbin.
Saying be excellent to each other, and we'll see you guys
suckers
next time. Oh, fuck, real quick. Remember, make sure if you want to hear more from Artie, make sure to check out his Facebook stream Sunday. We'll buy his book on Amazon. It's available on Amazon. And you can check out his live readings on Sundays. I will.
I'll be there.
As soon as I get the link from him, I will post it on the Facebook page and Twitter. So all social media. So be on the lookout for that if you're interested. But yeah, we'll see you next week, guys.
Peace. The ray gun shirt, bitches. Don't be jealous. Shut up, Greg Show. With the Absolute Geek money like Matt.